Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you happen to be in the world. Welcome to tradertv.live. North American stock futures, little change once again this morning as we saw yesterday, coming off another muted session on Wednesday. We saw both the S&P and the NASDAQ slightly higher on the day. The Dow lagging ever so slightly. Intel lifting both the S&P and the NASDAQ after they announced CEO swap, VMware. Their current CEO, Pat Gelsinger, coming over to Intel. That lifted INTC shares big time. Otherwise, looks like investors pretty happy to sit on the sidelines awaiting further developments out of Washington. We're going to get an update from President-elect Joe Biden coming up after market tonight when it comes to his possible stimulus plans. Could be as much as $2 trillion, so he's going to speak later on today. Individually this morning, everything space related to the upside. We'll talk about Virgin Galactic. ARK Investment Management filed to kick off an ETF for the space. So we'll talk about that coming up. Fubo TV shares back to the upside, and vaccine-related news this morning. Johnson & Johnson moving after initial data from their late-stage trial for their COVID-19 vaccine. It is Thursday, January 14th, 2021. TraderTV.live starts now. There we go. Look at Asian markets from the overnight session. Pretty positive right across the board here. Shanghai leading the way, nearly 2% to the upside. Let's go over to Europe, see how things are shaping up so far. Pretty mixed here. England 0.6% to the upside. Italy, Spain a little bit lower. Turkey as well to the downside. We'll shift over one more time. Have a look at North American futures here. You can see the NASDAQ in the red at the moment. The Dow and the S&P both higher to kick things off. Brazil open up about 0.75%. We have Bitcoin up nearly 4% today, both crude and gold back to the downside. Guys, just had continuing and initial jobless claims numbers out there. 965,000 versus 795,000 expected. So a little bit worse on the initial jobless claims from last week. Not sure if we got a move in the futures there, but we will definitely check in. Pretty flat still for the futures overall. Interesting morning, guys. Lots of things setting up. Lots of individual news stories. Fitbit halted currently on news. We have another IPO coming up this morning, so lots to get to. Yes, at least one last night. Overtime win, comeback kids. We'll take it. Great look there, but look, there obviously is a lot to get to today. You know, I'm actually just looking at the corner of my eye. GameStop, I just tweeted out that it was back at the 7 a.m. Ramp-up price, and it just broke like $1.50 to the upside. That squeeze continues to go. Tesla's in the news. We're going to be talking about that ARK potential ETF joining UFO in the space. Oh, God, I'm going to do the same thing you did. Space. Brandon, I got to find something, a better way to say that. It should be another interesting session, of course. And we're going to get into some EV space as well. And a big-time mover that happened. And I have a lesson for everybody when we talk about this. And we'll talk a little bit about DTTW, a halted name right now as well, Fitbit, Brennan. So there's going to be quite a bit that we have to talk about, certainly in this hour leading up. And, of course, we have Luis coming through from the Barcelona office. Day Trade the World. Always fun to talk to him. There have been some good small cap movers, so I'm sure he was active in those. And maybe, Sean, a few other names, because I'm interested to see if Luis would have been involved in GameStop yesterday.
Yeah, I'm sure he would have. Hopefully I know you tried 2 shorts there and you actually got away with it. So that was one of the best parts. Here's my GameStop yesterday. A lot of you guys talked about that. I got a lot of tweets about this. We were hella long here at 23, and then we got, got out quickly there, 20, 23, 24, and then 25, then 27, and then our last bit on this little break right here, which was turned out to be pretty good. That was $34. So we took an $11 winner there. You can follow on Twitter to find that trade. But today, GameStop looks like it wanted to do similar stuff here. 37.40, already 2.1 million shares. It's not on the imbalance locator, or did I miss it? Oh, there it is. 238,000 shares. So we'll see. Today, I don't expect fireworks from GameStop other than that it's going to move around. I don't think we get something like that because, if you're part of a short squeeze, the thing is I mean, I don't know, unless your margin is quite large, you probably got squeezed out during this move. So I'm just wondering what does happen today. I'm looking for locates. It looks like we're going to have them. I'm going to find out the price and get back to everybody there that's in the Day Trade the World universe. You can get shorts on GameStop. We're just going to find out how expensive they are. I think if they're anything less than like 10 cents a share or something, that's probably
cheap again.
Reasonable. Yeah, because they were cheap yesterday, so we'll find out. I mean, 10 cents a share. I mean, the spread's going to be 10 cents, so that's pretty reasonable for us. Brendan, let's get going through our list and talk about some big stories today.
All right, guys, yeah, before we jump into things, we'll make a correction. Unfortunately, there was a mistake on the actual watch list this morning. If you've taken it out for space, guys, we could show my screen real quick there, Robbie. I'll just get this out of the way. Yeah, so ARK Investment did, in fact, file to launch an ETF regarding space travel. So this is not failed. This is filed. So thank you, spell check, for a fail on that one this morning, but should be filed. They did, in fact, do that. So let's go over to the desk before we get too far into things and say good morning to Valeria.
Good morning, Brendan, and hey guys, thank you for joining us today, and I wish you a great trading day. Please destroy the like button, and let's get it started, Brendan.
All right, guys, yeah, we'll jump into how traders here at Day Trade the World fared yesterday. More big numbers coming out of mostly North American markets here once again. You can see number one here, nice $67,500. Amex, NASDAQ, New York, OTC, 41,000. More U.S. here. You got to go down to number 4 to get some Canadian content there. The CSE, 34,000. More Canadian content. Number 7. All the way down to number 9 before we get out of the 5-figure club again. Europe coming through with 7,600. So another great day for traders here at Day Trade the World. Lots to discuss as far as news is concerned this morning. There's a number of individual stories. There is an IPO today. I want to get that out of the way first. We'll start with that. Fitbit, Neil mentioned, halted currently on news. No news out yet, but we'll keep an eye on Fitbit. But Petco coming through today, $816.5 million IPO, price between 14, or they were expecting 14 to 17, actually came out higher at 18. So woof, WOOF on the NASDAQ coming today, guys.
Yes, challenging for one of the better ticker symbols. I don't think we'll have any trouble remembering that one. Sean, I'm sure you're going to be interested in this one. I think at least the valuation seems somewhat reasonable here, and we know it's going to be an interesting space. There's not going to be much to show you with the chart, except that I'm going to have it up on a level 2, and when it goes, you're going to have a grayed out quote. You'll see some orders start to flow in when it gets close to opening. We don't know when that's going to happen, of course. A firm held up really, really well yesterday, despite opening up. I mean, I thought $90 when it was priced at 49, and 33 was a low end of the initial range. It closed at 97 after briefly breaking 100, and it's gapped back up over 100. So a very, very strong performance by a firm. Definitely pertains to good things here for Petco, I think, Sean, and certainly definitely in that price range. I think it'll have a lot of interested buyers. So this one, I feel like it might be more comfortable getting the opening print. I wasn't willing to do it up at 90, or actually 90.90 on a firm yesterday.
So I am an early investor in Chewy. I've talked about that a bunch of times at its IPO price. So I was in on the IPO at 30, then I averaged in again in the 20s, and I think that my average price is somewhere low 30s, and you're at 113 right here. And Chewy came out just back in June of 2019, and now you have the pandemic craze where, according to some of the prospectus here, 1 in 3 pet owners increased pet spending in the year. Adoptions of pets, dogs and cats specifically, are at record highs now in the U.S. due to COVID. A lot of people at home, they want to shelter animals, and you're not unable to go out and do your normal lifestyle, so people have more time, so they are spending it with their animals. And obviously Brendan and I and Valeria all love our animals, and it's going to be just one of those things where I love the space. I'm already invested in STIC, so that's the blank check SPAC company. That's going to be BarkBox, so I'm really super excited about what's going to happen with this one. I bought more shares in STIC just 2 days ago, as well as PaySafe, so I'm in BFT and STIC. I like this one. This one's going to change the symbol BARK. But yeah, this is what it looks like, man. Woof. So it's WOOF. And right now, obviously, we have a blank screen on that stock. That will be coming out hopefully hopefully before 11:30. I think it was, we can check. Yesterday's was ARFM. AFRM. What time did that come out? I'm just trying to check out the time here. Was it 12:30? Okay, I'm just trying to see yesterday. Yep, good call, Brendan. Yeah, exactly. 12:18 yesterday for Affirm. So we'll see if they can beat that on Wolf, but they're both on NASDAQ, so, and they're both oversubscribed. We'll see what, I mean, this Affirm, what a joke though. $49 the insiders get it at, and today you're gonna see 101, 102. We touched 104 in the pre-market. So I like Affirm. Neil touched on that as well, but it's gonna be a big day, man. Let's just hope that Wolf can open up, and then you'll see how we trade it. We'll both take the opening print, it sounds like, and it should be fun. I just hope I don't lose on the opening print in 10 seconds like I did on my friend Dash.
Yeah, Affirm back on the watch list again this morning, guys. Moving higher as we just saw, so we'll talk about that in depth coming up a little bit later. Let's bring in Luis from Barcelona, the Day Trade the World office over in Spain. We'll see what he's looking at this morning. Hey, Luis, good morning. Welcome back. We are looking at a busy day once again. Want to start things off. I know you guys typically look at the smaller ones that are doing lots of volume, but want to get your thoughts on Affirm yesterday. Any luck trading that one?
No, we didn't trade. Actually, we didn't trade that one. We trade a lot Plug. We trade a lot the sector, the energy sector with Plug. Mainly, we made a lot of money. I can show you. You know, you like guys our watch list. There you got. So made a lot of money on Plug, on FUBO, and Game mainly. A little bit of FCell. So we're trading a lot of the energy sector mainly yesterday.
So let's talk about that Plug, setting up a little bit to the downside today. I mean, it's been on such a run to the high side. We're coming back in today, showing weakness here in the pre-market as well. What are your thoughts on Plug?
Yeah, we really liked it yesterday. It was a lot of volume, a lot of moving up, but retracement at the same time. So, you know, a lot of noise, and that's what we really like. We saw a very nice movement with a lot of volume to 72, and that was, we thought that was with that high volume, the maximum of the day, and probably the last short squeeze for everyone in the market. So we tried to take shorts after that 70-71 break, false break.
Speaking of Plug, DTTW Holdings out this morning, another little one, doing all kinds of volume here in the pre-market. They announced, I can actually show you this, I think, if I have the picture. Here we go. Yeah, so this is the product on Amazon. Ace Cool residential level 27K watt single EV charger. So this is coming from DTTW Holdings on Amazon. The keyword there, Amazon, Luis.
Yeah, we in our watch list is definitely the DTTW, okay, because of the price, because of the volatility it has, the stock, the level 2 is really give us an edge. So that's one of the stock we're really looking into, DTTW for sure.
Anything else standing out so far this morning as far as little ones on your radar?
Yeah, I'm gonna show you our watch list for today is this one. Okay, so you see here below $1 to $10 we have EXPR, DTTW, and OGEN. In case it breaks the $1 OGEN, then above $10 we have NK, Game, and CCIV. And then we have a couple of big caps that will look into space, Virgin Galactic, and NEO. NIO. Yeah,
pretty impressive move on that GameStop yesterday. It was officially at the start of the morning yesterday, 102.2% on the short interest for GME. Does that swing your, the way you look at a stock when you see a short interest that high?
Yeah, actually, that has a lot of interest for us when we have this short interest and this high volatility, was almost 100% up. It's a stock that is very punish with the last months and months. So we were waiting for a long time to see some movement up. And yesterday we had it. Today it's fighting $40. We have a short bias. If it holds below 40, if the volume appears again and it breaks $40, we must see another pushing higher. We'll see.
Great stuff, Luis. We'll bring in Neil and Sean here to talk about some more symbols.
Hey, Luis, how are you doing, my friend?
How are you doing, Sean?
I'm not doing too bad. You're looking pretty sharp there. How's hiring going? I know that COVID obviously is still rampant there. Have you been having any luck? Are you bringing in new traders or anything like that right now? Or is it just sort of sticking with your core group?
We are not sticking at all with our group. We are 23 right now.
Wow.
And next month are 7 new guys coming in. So
well,
yeah,
now you're famous.
30 for
That's the thing. Now you're famous. Like you got to maybe get a little bit of a bigger office there now, and we appreciate all the work you're doing. I just wanted to talk to you quickly. I don't want to talk really specifically about any names. I think Neil may have something. You said something there to Brendan that was very important to me, anyways, and I think it should be to our viewers, especially traders that are with Day Trade the World. You mentioned that you take advantage of, level 2 reading, and you said that you really like to look at the level 2. You like to read what's happening on there. Is there, and I have DPW up right now. I can expand this down a little bit. We have all the books. I think I'm pretty much entitled for all of them, so this is what it looks like. Right now, I don't see any really big size on the level 2. Do you mind, and again, without giving away too much of your main strategies or anything like that, unless you really wanted to, what is it that you guys look for on the level 2? You mentioned that you're going to take advantage of the level 2 reading that you and your traders have. Is there a little bit of a tip that maybe you could give some of our viewers, or what exactly some of the things that you guys look for on a DPW or a moving stock like a ZOM or anything like that?
Yeah, any small cap with a low price for us is a unbelievable tool, the level 2 on time and sales. It gives you really the edge, not only about where is the buying power or the shorting, where is the weakness and the strong point, but also where is the timing, when the volume is gonna come. You know,
right.
It is not only one key or one tip I can give you, because it takes hours, hundreds of hours of looking the level 2 and realize what's going on behind there. The big offers, big bids holding, refreshers holding some prices.
Okay.
Suddenly some liquidity pools, that there is no bid, no offer, so the stock is going to move faster in those prices. But it takes a lot of hours watching. But my recommendation is sometimes just forget about the chart, remove it from your screen and look at, no blinking, even the level 2 on time and sales, and you will find out the moment when you have to jump in these kind of stocks.
Yeah, no, great call. And I mean, I know that, and thank you for shouting out all the hard work that is required to doing this. I mean, often I get tweets, and I know you're on Twitter and you're on LinkedIn as well. And, we get asked all the time about how we're looking at these things, how we're making money, and some of the success that you showed even on your spreadsheet there, right? It doesn't come overnight. You have to practice this. You have to sit there and understand when your position's in trouble, which side do you favor? And that's the one thing, Lewis, that I really take from you. You mention all the time, we favor the short. We favor the long. We're looking for certain things. And I think, honestly, if there's one thing that our traders can take from our show, from you as a guest, from me, Neil, Brendan, and everything, it's preparation, it's time spent. If you don't mind me asking, I started in 2002, which is super long ago, 19 years of experience. You look like you're about 29 years old, so I don't think that's the case here. But how long have you been day trading to build some of these knowledge and strategies that you have, if you don't mind me asking?
I might look a little bit younger than you, because I started in 2004.
Okay.
So yeah, a couple of years after you. It takes a lot of time to learn. It takes a lot of hard work. I would say it takes a lot of teamwork. Yeah. That's, in my opinion, it's basic. We are like 20 guys here, and you don't know how fast they are improving, because they encourage each other to improve. Some people come with new ideas. So even if you are the most profitable trader, you want a guy besides you who is learning, because someday that guy is going to save your career with some new idea or some new strategy or psychology that it will help you. So stick in a team if you are able to.
No, and that's why we encourage, and I mean, and that's obviously why you have more than 23, and congratulations on the hiring spree that you're there and the interest that you've drummed up with your business. So thank you so much for that talk today, and I think to me, that's what it's all about, right? It's not necessarily about the symbols, it's just about understanding what the strategies are, because, hey, tomorrow we have no idea what symbol we're gonna trade, but we do know how to trade it. To me, that's the most important. Neil, you have anything for Lewis quickly, or?
To be perfectly honest,
give something to me.
Honestly, Lewis, one of the things I was going to say is it's hilarious, because sometimes on the show, when you talk about watching level 2, you guys will all see me just by doing this when I'm staring at a stock, when I'm looking to get a reversal on a short trade. And it's because I'm no longer looking at the chart. I'm looking at that level 2, because you want to see sometimes when a level breaks, like an even dollar, let's just call it 40, because I happen to have GameStop up, not that this is going to happen if GameStop gets to 40. but you'll get the price moving up into that range, and then suddenly you might have a break of that key price that everyone's looking at, but the bid doesn't follow to the upside. There isn't a volume of shares transacting above that price. The offer might go away because people are pulling because they're scared, but that doesn't necessarily mean that there's any follow through. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, that's kind of some of what you're talking about there a little bit, Lewis. Specifically with GameStop, just because it's a little bit more volatile for a lot of people here, are there any special rules that you might have on that differentiate it from, say when you're trading in a Neo or like an OGen, which, I'm looking at that one today, and I just, some of the principles around what you're looking for at the top, maybe it's $1 there and 40 here on GameStop, might be the same, but the way that it trades is going to be vastly different when it comes to spread. So are there any rules you have especially for something like GameStop?
Yeah, it's totally different game if you play game, okay, with a cheap stock comparing. So you have to wait a little bit longer. It's very important to measure the size on this kind of a stock, the volatility and high price and high volatility. It's very important to measure the size you're going to jump in the trades, because it can go against you before you're right. In the cheap stocks and small caps, it's easier to jump in the trade with the more certainty or more likely that you are right away when you go in the trade. But in stocks like plug or game, it's going to go against you a little bit, 10 cents, 20, 30, 40, depending on your risk reward, of course. But I would say be aware of very important levels. In this kind of stocks, have a bias, okay? Maybe not in the small caps, you can change your bias easily, but in this more expensive and high volatility stock, have a bias. For example, yesterday on Plug, we made a lot of money because we had a short bias. So we were jumping short on every movement up of the stock. In these expensive stocks, you have to be a little bit more strict about your bias and your share size in the trade.
And to the share size comment there, certainly just even knowing where you're wrong is good, and then understanding the slippage that might be involved around that price level. So even if you say I'm giving this 50 pennies or whatever it might be for a hit, when you're actually executing out, it might be an extra 20 or 30, something along those lines. I was talking about liquidity points to be able to get out of shorts in GameStop, and it's only because I was shorting in front of and not at liquidity points. I was able to, to be sure that you're not going to get absolutely blown away. To your point about things going right away, look at something like Zom. When that short came through at $1, I mean, you hit it and it was like, okay, well, instantaneously, this is not going to come back up. There was just no bid. Yeah. And it's very, very different in GameStop. Even when it turned yesterday, there's just... At the moment that it happens, yeah, sure, you might think it's going to be a nice one up at 39, but it wasn't the most obvious thing in the world until it was a couple of dollars down. I mean, everyone absolutely loves your perspective here, Lewis. Best of luck to all your trading today. I'm looking at OGen right now because it's actually making that move towards $1, and I think if it were to breach, I'd still be looking for a 115 to 120 level as well. So I'm kind of with you on that one. I'll probably be involved in that stock a little bit later on, but let's throw you back to Brendan. Thanks again, Lewis.
Thanks to you, Neil. And I really hope as well that the OGN hold this $1 level so we can trade it very actively over there.
Yeah, it should be an interesting one, Lewis. There's, I think, about 6,000 people watching right now, and a lot of them would like your Twitter. So we're going to go ahead and pass along your Twitter handle. I hope that is okay, Lewis. But yeah, as always, great stuff this morning. Best of luck today. We'll speak to you again next week.
Thank you, Brendan. See you.
You as well. Let's jump into what is moving around in the pre-market, guys. If you haven't done so already, make sure you sign up for our watch list. It is absolutely free to you. My eyes are constantly watching what is going on down here. Absolutely free to you every single morning. We send it right to your email inbox before we come on this morning. A lot to get through, so let's jump right into the watch list, guys. We'll start things off with Virgin Galactic. Again, if you're just joining us, there was a little bit of a mistake in the actual write-up under Virgin Galactic. It's not failed, it's filed. Okay, so ARK Investment Management filed to launch an ETF for the space travel sector, or the new space travel sector. So we're going to talk about space here, guys, but I also want to mention MAXR, M-A-X-R, if you want the little ones. Big move this morning as well on this news.
Yeah, so this is, obviously, like yesterday, I had no idea this was coming. I'm not going to pretend that. There was a purely technical breakout, 2750, that we were looking at for weeks now. on Virgin Galactic. You go back to the previous high. We talked about yesterday. You go back to that July top. You also have this consolidation at, top level 2750 multiple times. So that breakout was always there. It has nothing to do with this news. Maxar is on the move. There is actually an ETF already. It's UFO and it's on the NASDAQ. So Maxar is there. Virgin Galactic is in there as well, like Dish, Garmin, some other related names within the sector. My guess is that this might be a little bit more directed, and maybe and this is again all speculation because we don't know what's going to be in this one from ARK. But it certainly Maxar is being bet on that it's going to be one of those names that everyone believes, of course, that Virgin Galactic's going to be there. I kind of feel like the weighting might be a little bit smaller if it has some of those other traditional satellite plays, like the Garmin technologies. If you know anybody that does any crazy like triathlons or whatnot, it's that they got those watches that look like they're for astronauts or whatever. So I think space is going to be a good one today. It might be. I'm probably going to be waiting for a dip. I think on a swing, it's kind of hard to get in, up 16, 17%. All that said, if it's as expected, where the weighting is a little bit more aggressive than in the UFO ETF, this is going to be a good sign specifically for space and definitely for that Maxar, which is a smaller name, as you mentioned, Brennan.
Okay, I did want to just give a quick shout out to my main man here, Konstantin Tio. What's up, Konstantin here? Tio, we went back and forth on Instagram there, and he said he never gets shout outs, and he's a member. So what's up? Thank you so much for joining us and for being a member with us. We love all of you guys, all of our social medias. Follow us all, and it's an easy way to get a hold of us. Thank you, Mr. Tio, for the conversation, and good luck with your trading as well. Obviously, space is a good one. We wrote down some levels there: 3170, defend 29 as well. I just saw a hit on the wire about 5 minutes ago when we were with Luis there about Beyond Meat. Up 4.5%. I posted on there Taco Bell right now, stepping up to the plate and getting some fake burritos, chalupas, whatever, here with Taco Bell. So 120 bottom. I actually sold out of some of my Beyond Meat when we broke out of here, 140 back to the downside. So I'll have to double check my swing position, but I don't think I own Beyond Meat anymore. It was a good run. Once again, I was in about 80, 85 when we broke down here, up here on its IPO. Didn't catch the very top, but we were to get some out around 100. 120, and then we held the rest, and then we just dumped it at 140. But right now, I just wanted to bring that to everyone's attention because here goes Beyond Meat, man, 130, 131, and breaking higher. I like this name. I think it gets momentum behind it. Let's watch out for Beyond Meat here. 149,000 shares today. And then here's space, the levels that I just went over there, and I know Neil did as well, but 3170 was that high level there, and it broke. So now you got to look at 3219, and I think we just try to defend 31. ETFs are good. They got to put stock into the ETF. So that alone creates buzz around around space, but around any stock getting into that kind of an ETF, they have to buy it. So with supply being limited, space goes higher.
Going to be a lot of space for. No, I'm not even going to bother.
Yeah,
upgrades and downgrades, guys. We'll talk about Intel here again on this side of the thing, this side of the board, I should say. 2.3%. Big move yesterday. Talked about that in depth. Baidu on here, 1.5% already. 2 days in a row for Baidu. Big Lots was positive earlier in the week on news, but back to the downside. Urban Outfitters, they updated their holiday sales, not good earlier in the week. One of the clean energy names, big move down this morning. Fuel Cell, guys, back over to you.
Yeah, Baidu on that list, and you guys will see Alibaba, of course, on the watch list, and the administration not looking like to go through with those bans on investment in those Chinese companies. So positive wins for both names in the afternoon. Baidu went like $5. They're about the same price, Baidu and Baba. That's why you can make that comparison. But Baba went like $10. Baidu went $5, and Baidu was holding this 240 level, which ended up being about the top at the close. So that's the level I'll be watching on Baidu today. It's not always the most sexy day trade. You'll likely get a little bit more volume and possibly volatility over in Alibaba and some of the other names on the watch list. But worth a watch if 240 can hold. You have a nice level of support and then a potential breakout. Just looking at the last couple of session highs at 244 and change, so 244, 245 breakout with some support at 240 as long as that holds at the open. Looks interesting for me on Baidu. Hate to be Urban Outfitters, certainly under a lot of pressure, and then already under pressure and then catching that downgrade, so looking pretty ugly for them.
And we're going to do a backflip on Alibaba because congratulations again to anybody that bought it with us. Greg and I bought it yesterday in the afternoon. So our trainer, if you're not familiar with Greg, he'll probably be coming back on with some segments if we can convince him. 235, 236. We loved this area right down there. We bought Alibaba shares. I put them into the it's not a 401k, but into the long-term investment portfolio there yesterday again. So my two buys on this dip down of Alibaba, 223 was days before this. We got that a couple weeks, or about a week and a half ago. 223, and then 230, I think it was, I don't know, it was 237, 236, something like that. We got it yesterday. Now you're up to 244. So look, Alibaba all the way up. I told you guys this was all just going to blow over at some point. I don't know. We had Mark Roberts on. He didn't like it as a buy. I disagreed with him on that one. So this one, I'll win on this with him. Not that we have to win, but nice little move up from 220 to 244 in just under 3 days. So we'll take that one and we'll watch it. But don't forget, there still are some headwinds with Alibaba. I mean, I'm not sure if anybody even knows where Jack Ma is. Not that that's a problem, but you do. He's just a chairman at this point. But the thing is, you have to wonder about the government. There's always going to be ties there. The monopolistic appeal of Alibaba. We'll see if they can come down on them even harder. I don't think so. Remember, they still have Ant. They own 33% of Ant Financial, Alibaba. And that was going to be a $200 billion IPO that got shelved, okay? So if you just think about that, just by them unleashing that value of 33% into that holdings, you're going to get 70 more billion, hopefully, rewarded back to Alibaba shareholders. Look, I don't know how it all works over there with share structures and not, but that's how I understand it. And Tim, I don't know if you got a little jealous there, Tim, but I'm going to give you a shout out as well. Come on, man, you're a member. You want a shout out there? It is a shout out to you as well, Tim. Thank you for becoming a member and staying a member with us. As I can see, you've been a member for a while. There's Neil, I think, with his money running away from us. So with the wheelbarrow. So thank you. Big shout out to Tim there as well. And then Go Ogen, AMC. Look, there's lots of names to get to, guys. So let's just continue. But hey, look, I'm loving Alibaba. I love it for a hold more than a day trade.
All right, guys. Yeah, lots to get to. Let's bring in Arun here. We'll have a quick look at the futures market this morning. Pretty quiet once again as far as activity in the pre-market. Arun, what are you looking at today?
We're on day 4 of the range now. Same range, 38.25 on the top end, 37.55 on the bottom end. Those are the two big levels I'm looking at. But at the same time, yesterday around midday, I actually made a play against the range because I was starting to see enough activity that made it look like they may want to push the top end. So I've actually brought in another level now. 37.90 is in play for me. So now I'm stuck between 38.25 and 37.90. That's just like a mini range for me. And then the big one is still 37.55. For now, I'm not going to be doing a whole lot, but I am open to the idea of going against this bottom end of this 37.90 and looking actually for a push towards the top. So again, 38.25 is still the top end. If we get that break, you can get the breakout with 37.90 as a stop. If we get a potential sell point or maybe a setup on the sell side, then you have that 38.25 as a stop for the short. At the same time, if you get that decent long, if you get a long around that 3,800 mark that sets up properly, you have the option to go for the 37.90. Given what happened yesterday around midday, the activity I was seeing, I'm open to the idea of going long against this range as well near the top end. So 3 different levels are in play now, quite different from the first 3 days. So now we have 3 levels to work with, and we'll see how this one plays out. There's no read for me yet, but I am open to the idea of going in either direction once I get a setup.
When we get to a consolidation like this, Arun, in the overall market and kind of sideways action as we've been talking about for 3 days, talk about a little bit about the importance of patience and waiting for your trade to come.
Well, okay, so money is made when you play your probabilities, right? That's what trading is, right? Playing probabilities. Whatever your edge is, you play your edge. And if your edge is certain types of setups, you got to play your setups. If you try to get a little impatient, that's how you lose money. And that's, for all traders that are starting out, just heed that advice. Play your edges. I know Neil says that quite a bit. I don't know if he says it on the show, but I know on the floor he says it. So play your edges and just be patient. And if you start to break rules because you're becoming impatient, that's one of the natural tendencies as a trader when you're starting out, because you want to go where the action is. But if you're not prepared to trade that action with an approach that you've already built in, then that's how you lose money. So for me, I specifically look at the futures, the ES futures, S&P futures. So I know what type of market and how I want to play it. So in this kind of market, I'm just going to be patient. That's the reality of it. If you're more of a trend trader, then you've got to constantly be searching for those breakouts and those trend continuation patterns, right? So as long as you're aware of what your strategy is, you got to find the stocks that fit the strategy. Now, if you're just trading one stock, then you have to be prepared to be waiting for the conditions that fit you most to make the money. So patience will make you money. If you're impatient, that is how you lose money.
Yeah, great stuff. Thanks so much, Arun. We'll check back in again tomorrow morning. Very important, guys, to know what your edge is and trade that. And if it's not there, you got to sit on your hands. Let's keep going here. Tesla next on the list. We had the Department of Transportation come out and tell Tesla to recall up to 158,000 of its electric vehicles. An issue regarding the media unit in the actual car. So a little bit more negative here this morning, guys, for Tesla.
Yeah, I haven't really looked too much at Tesla here today, but any negative news on Tesla to me is just a buying opportunity, to be honest with you. We did have, one down day in the last little while, but other than that, I mean, Tesla's just been an absolute beast. Up again to 840, 870 a couple days ago, and then this was the down day before. Look at this rally back right at the end of the day there. 837, it held this 834. This is the area that we want to talk about right now. Basically this bottom, 828, some consolidation here in the pre-market 2 days ago before popping back up. So I know that there's some buyers down here, 830, 831, 832, and then that was again confirmed yesterday by this bottom midday before absolutely taking off. I mean, look at this consolidation. I mean, you can see it here. I don't need to zoom in, but like this is about as choppy as it gets. They tried to sell this thing, and why not? I mean, these are all-time highs again, 860, 870. They hit it down on some negative news. We saw NEO go down yesterday as well a little bit. So it comes down here, builds a base down there, then takes off, comes back, and then there's that 832. That's why we zoomed back a little bit, just to show you that we did have some consolidation down here at these levels. So we're at 840 now. I mean, we could easily get down to this level, 830, 832. So I'm going to put a bid down here and just see if we do get some kind of a drop here off open. So this is 860 yesterday. We dropped all the way to 835, $25 down. I don't know. Do we get to this area here? 826, 827. I guess that's possible. Anything's possible. So let's see if we can bottom pick down here, 830, 831 and change, whatever. You pick your spot, but I think we can bottom pick and then watch out below if it does break 827. Let's call it 825 even. Let's play the quarters. So 825 even down there as a break, and then I think you can try your hand at a long if you don't mind this touchscreen issue that apparently they're having. 833, 825. Again, when it's something like that, I think that gets resolved relatively easily. So I'm not selling Tesla on any kind of glitches or anything like that. Let's just see what happens with Tesla.
Yeah, I don't mind it at all. The only number I had written down was 825, and the way that I usually like playing Tesla, the days that I do, is to have a target entry range. And you're exactly right about spotting that little choppy area there, Sean. And we talked about this with Mark, and we say it all the time. There's going to be a likelihood of some support down in that range, given what you've seen in the past. So I know it's pre-market, but then you also can go back into the previous session to see that it was a bit of a key area as well. So it dips into that 830 and below it without breaking 825, and then that would be an entry for me. So I wouldn't necessarily get in above 830. I'd be looking to see it break that 830 range and then hold 825, and then that's your entry point with an 825 stop. So that'd be my look on Tesla.
Guys, Fubo TV back on watch this morning, trading higher again in the pre-market. Berenberg coming out this morning, adding to the list of analysts upgrading and increasing price targets for Fubo TV. There was also a note I saw from Reuters suggesting that the NBA could be on the list as far as sports betting is concerned. If you remember earlier in the week, the positive news picking up Victory to integrate with their platform, guys. So the NBA could be on board with Fubo.
Yeah, and why not? NBA kicking off, all sports kicking off. Last night was NHL, but NBA kicked off about a month ago, and it's been pretty good. Look, Fubo TV has been incredible, to be honest with you. We did talk about this 27 break back. This is that Victory story there that you mentioned, bringing in online gambling. That looks like, we've been running DraftKings, which has been absolutely fantastic, man. A big day yesterday for DraftKings getting, I think it was, Pennsylvania or Michigan or something came through yesterday for DraftKings as well. So So that's been a big name. And then Victory, I don't know much about them, but nice to see it being implemented. And congratulations to the Fubo management team. I mean, they're doing things that are different. I mean, integrating sports gambling into the TV, into the Roku stick, things like that. I like it. I think it's pretty cool and pretty fun to do. So we'll wait to see. Beautiful bottom here, $34, $35. I think you can play off that. I wrote down Fubo TV to see if we can get back to this level right here, 38. So that's 38, 38, 20, something like that. I understand that right now it's heading to the south side here. I talked about 38 because of here. I just thought that there was a little bit of support down here. I guess it's 38. To be exact, it's 38 and a quarter, 38.25. But we bounced off there a couple times before heading higher. Then we broke it to the downside. So I'm kind of looking at this level. If we can break upside, now I know that's $2 away. Normally I give targets that are a little closer than this, but I just, I don't want it to fail here again. We did have some consolidation here at 37 before, so I'm going to put an order in and, call it a little ways away and a little conservative, but you know what? This Fubo TV can go. We've seen it go 10, 20% in a day, if not more. So 38.25 is on the radar. I have that. I will put that order in after I'm done speaking, but I like it. And if you like it a little more than that, nothing wrong with the 37 break as it's the pre-market high. So you could take 37.25 as well, but I'm going to give it $1 higher. 38 and a quarter for me on Fubo.
Yeah, I mean, taking the break in at the middle of the range yesterday would have worked out. And this is a perfect example yesterday at 40 of what Luis was talking about with the 40 level on GameStop. That's what a failed break's going to look like after the fact, but a lack of bid following it up and transacting above that 40 price, just the offer fading away. And then it absolutely slammed back to the downside. So sometimes the second move is the better one. I'm not sure it gets there today. Just based on the way that it traded in the afternoon, so the weakness it had, but there is enough of a catalyst there. I was looking at 36.75 just because of the consolidation range here when it tipped down and then broke back up through that level. So I'm kind of thinking if the same type of pattern can happen on a tighter range, that'd be great. So if 36 doesn't break, let's say, right here before the next 19 minutes or so, and then we get a break of 36.75, I kind of like that trade because that way if it slams back down through pre-market high, the way there was a fail break here, you're looking a little bit better than yesterday if you tried the similar trade. And because I'm not quite as bullish on it after that failure at 40, I think that's going to be the safer approach. But I don't want Fubo necessarily before the open. I like the fact that it dipped at 9:30, then gave you that trade after the open.
I just wanted to talk about it. I will throw it to you, Brendan, in a second, but I guess it looks like European approval here for Fitbit.
Yep.
So Fitbit's locked up here right now. So
735 is the price.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask you. What was it?
Oh yeah, it's a 735 deal price.
735.
Yeah, we should have said that this was it was likely to be this because it was an extension.
Is it even going to open up, or is it just done at 735? Like I don't know.
If memory serves, and I would have to double check because Fitbit, this one's been lingering for quite some time, Sean. So I'm pretty sure there is still some approvals that they have left to get. Of course, here it's an international company, so many regions had to give antitrust approval. Europe was one of the big ones. I would expect it to, if it does open up, I would expect it to finally come back to this like 725 to 730 area.
Okay.
Guys, there's actually an update to this. Google is actually saying now that Fitbit and Google have finalized. It's a done deal. So they've closed the merger with Google there. So Fitbit, we'll see. Maybe it doesn't open back up again, but worth watching on Fitbit there. Johnson & Johnson, Sean covered Alibaba already, so we'll jump down to Johnson & Johnson. Lots to get through here, guys. They came out yesterday with primary or initial data on their late-stage trial for their vaccine, talking about 80% efficacy rates, and they said basically everyone who had the shot, it's a single shot, that's the first positive point, but everyone produced antibodies to fight the virus, and they're looking at roughly an 80% efficacy rate for J&J, guys.
Yeah, look, I'm glad J&J got this because this is the one name I've been hating on vaccines the whole time. There's no doubt about that. Not the vaccines, sorry, the vaccine companies. We talked about Pfizer. I said it may never see that 43 again. It will eventually, but it's been dropping ever since they released theirs. You've seen Moderna. I think a high Moderna 190 or so, and then now we're in. You can see where these stocks trade now. J&J has been in my long-term portfolio for ever, basically. Solid dividend. I love it. It's not super sexy, not super attractive on the capital gains side of things, but I'm really glad that we did. I think it was a Q&A maybe about 2 months ago when someone asked about some long-term portfolio plays, and I highlighted J&J down here. It was in the 140 area, and I was just bouncing around, and I said, you know what, this is the one company that once they get the vaccine going, that will probably give them that boost that they need to take out the top, because they're just in everything. They're not simply a vaccine play. And now they're coming with the one-shot killer. So look, a lot of people loving that. I love it. Not only is it breaking out, we already did break out through 155, 156. So I'm super happy. I think J&J moved into the top 10 in my holdings on some of these last recent moves. But I like the top, man. I mean, the top was 162. It looks like we're going to get to that today. We're looking at 161 right now. This is a daily chart, so we'll minimize that just to see what's happened here throughout. No major volume. We got a big volume spike there. That's the closing print, so don't worry about that. That's nothing. But then bang, on that efficacy, on that release, we're going to see if more countries come on board. I know Canada's waiting to approve it. I think the U.S. waiting to approve it as well. We will wait to see when that comes through. But hey, look, man, more jabs for everybody, and J&J's one is one shot. I like it. I like this to the high side. Quickly before I throw over to you, Neil, let's just check out the imbalance locator here. I was hoping to see J&J on here, and there it is. At the very, can you guys see? No, you can't see that. Let me see if I can just zoom this down a little bit here, scroll this down. There it is. It was 170 something. Crow. I don't know where it is anymore. There it is. JJ 175. So it's there as a bid. It's been paired off a little bit. You can see some no-name stocks kind of on here, but we do have CCL there, Citigroup as well as a buy. But the number one stock, CCIV, we know that's going to turn over. Space is there as well. BABA with the big bid. Congratulations to anybody long with us on BABA as well. But hey, look, I like J&J breaking that 161. Let's just see if it happens off the open.
Yeah, I had a 161.30 and a 160.30 if it holds that top for that sort of sell the news play. There was a running joke and that was sort of telling Brendan, now Pfizer in England, they're going to use the one shot and delay the second one because apparently it has 90% efficacy after 15 days on the first shot. If that's what the data showed, why wasn't that the plan in the first place? That really confuses me, but J&J seems to have a very, very high quality vaccine coming through. I wanted to quickly show you guys on GameStop. Now, this is an NYB order for 40,000 shares, but there was just another one at 38 for 91,000 shares was a bigger one, just slightly bigger than that, a little bit higher. So I don't know if it seems to be following it down. I did see it's a buy imbalance, but the stock just pull back a little bit here. If that gets filled off the open with that buy imbalance, we could be testing that 40 a lot faster than we think.
All right, guys, we'll go to GameStop next here. Big move yesterday again, 102% on the short side as of the open of trade yesterday. They came out with better than expected both holiday season and Q4 sales numbers. Preliminary, I should say, Q4 sales numbers for GameStop. So back to the upside. We're right back near these highs from yesterday.
Yeah, I wanted to show up again. This is the trade that we had yesterday. We had to wait for it. We had to be really, really patient. It was about 10 o'clock or so when it finally broke this 23 level. We saw it ramping up there, stopped at 23.20 or so. As soon as it built this little base there, we went long and finally got the last part out, the last 20% or so out there at 34. So that was a big trade. We didn't we let it go all the way to 38. I jokingly said maybe we'd get to 50. That was like around here. We got kind of close there. $34 stopped out. So that's that on GameStop. I think we can do it again here, but I did say earlier on, if you did join us earlier, that momentum yesterday is a short squeeze, right? It's not like their valuation all of a sudden doubled in one day there on some members. It was the Chewy. There was some Chewy news there about a founder of Chewy getting involved with GameStop as well. And we saw what Chewy's done. We know that they're involved here. I think there was an AWS thing with GameStop as well back in the couple weeks ago. So there's lots of momentum coming with GameStop. I look here at the levels, and I mean, yesterday's high always comes into play for me. So that's 39, 38 and change. We're at 38 right now. I think we could take that off. We did pay for shorts, and embarrassingly low, 2.5 cents for shares. So, I mean, we'll take that all day, every day. I should have took like 10,000 and sold them to somebody. But right here, guys, $36 at the bottom side. If you're going to go long 39, I don't think you can hold it too much past VWAP. We're bunching through that right now. 37.35 is this VWAP right now. Looks like we'll take that out. I think it's a short, but if it's a short, it's not one until 35. I think you got to wait here until 35 comes. So when 35 breaks, I'll be short GameStop, and I think I'm going to go long on a 39 break. So 39 to the upside will go. We'll see if it squeezes, and then we'll use 35 to the downside. And I think that those levels are pretty good. Take some risk if you want to wait for both of those to hit. They both could hit in the same minute. So let's just see what happens with GameStop. I'm excited for it. Already 3 million shares done. Let's go. You got to trade the names that are hot, right?
Yeah, I mean, I was definitely already looking at that 35. Also because of that, after it plunged to the downside, that was the top for the rest of the afternoon. But I was looking at 39, Sean. The only reason we could get away from it is that order that I just saw. I'd rather see it test 40 if there is really going to be some sell action at that previous day high. Let's see it test that 40 range before I'm in love with playing one of the higher levels on GameStop, just given the price action I'm seeing. That order seemingly has spooked it a little bit because we're right back to 37. So it just dropped $1.50 because of an NYB order, which can't even execute until 10 minutes from now. So, obviously there are some jittery fingers on this name, and you're going to get a lot of volatility right at 9:30. So I'd rather get in position after that.
All right, guys, another one looking a little bit more weak this morning. Plug Power back to the downside. 5+% now for Plug Power. I mean, this thing has had quite the run over the past couple of days. We talked about the Renault team up on some hydrogen work. JP Morgan initiating coverage on Plug Power this morning. They did give it a neutral rating, but a $60 price target here from JP Morgan, guys.
I had one note for yesterday for myself on all of my stocks. I just put next to 69.80 why. And it was why did I not take it when it was one of the first things that I wrote down. It had made a bit of a double top at 72 in the pre-market. It had been overextended. The risk to reward was fantastic on that short. And you look at the plunge. Now you're getting, anytime you have a plunge like this and you get a bottom right at that 64, that's going to immediately be a level that sticks out for me. So I'd like to be shorting through that 64 price if Plug's going to come down any further than this. Of course, it's not short sell restricted. There is Moonwalking Valerius already at 1,500 likes. As always, thank you so much for all of your support, guys. I think we need to get to that 5,000 mark, guys. I mean, that's just a bigger number. That's just puts a smile on everybody's face when we get to it. So again, I'm going to be shorting through 64 if it gets to that price. There's no guarantees. If we get a test of the pre-market high, like it's a 67.33, call it 67 even into that quarter, somewhere in that range, and it rolls over, I might take a short off of that pre-market high as well. But my bias is going to be, south side on Plug. If it breaks through that 68 level and goes higher, I'll probably maybe walk away from that bias and see what happens at 72.
I'm actually pretty short bias on this stock today just because of the way the chart looks. And I trade off charts for sure. But if you look at yesterday's here, this little level of $64, I just think that if we breach that, it's right here. There could be a problem for Plug today. So let's just wait to see if it gets there. But yeah, 67 is pretty sweet if you're looking for a long there. But Plug Power today, again, if you're unfamiliar with what we're doing right now, we're going through our watch list. It's absolutely free. If Valeria could post that up. It's watchlist.tradertv.live, and here it is here. Down 4% in the pre-market. That's worse now after gaining 40% in 2 days. Talks about Renault, JP Morgan, neutral price rating, $60. So yeah, sign up for this. Everything's on here. Is Alibaba, Fubo, Affirm, everything that we've been talking about. I just think this goes lower, man. It's been a huge day, a huge run for Plug. This thing was $14 in October. So yeah, I'm a seller. Here's a 20-period chart as well for Plug Power. Here's that 64 level staring us right in the face. At least it's staring me in the face. I think we can get to that, and then we break 62 and then look out below 61.50. It's not that I'm bearish on Plug. I just think the chart's setting up for this to be hammered to the downside. I'm going to be short Plug 64. I don't know if I need to get shortable shares on this one, but 64 is the call for the short on this one, guys.
Okay, guys, there's a lot of people talking about NNDM. Big offering for NNDM as well, so just be careful on that one. No other real significant news on NNDM. Nano Dimension. Let's go to Affirm. Holding big debut yesterday. Was up 85.5%. Initial IPO 49, came out around 90. Back to the upside again today. There's positivity around this because of PayPal ties, guys.
Oh, PayPal! I didn't know they had ties with PayPal.
Yeah, it was the co-founder.
It's a co-founder.
Max Levchin.
Yeah, we saw that guy on CNBC, if I'm allowed to say that name, yesterday. Young dude. Congratulations to everybody in Affirm. I mean, Neil talked about this yesterday. I think it's very, very interesting. Their business model, they're kind of changing the way financing is worked out. And out of all of the IPOs, out of all of the IPOs that have happened, I think Affirm probably is the one that gets bought out first, if there is any kind of buyout happening on any of those IPOs, just because of what they're doing. They're trying to change the game there, taking financing, and they're actually making money from Walmart or from Peloton. They're taking a percentage of the sale and working that into the finance cost, right? So they're getting paid kind of first and then taking on the risk of some of these longer payments from some of the customers. So I don't know. I mean, I know there's going to be credit checks, there's going to be credit issues, but right now with stimulus checks probably flying out the door sooner rather than later, I think Affirm's a positive stock. I like it. I played the long through 100 yesterday. That was a good trade. It kind of bounced around. We took out some 102.50s and then got out below 100 when it did finally break back below. But you could use 100 as your base and just keep going long. But I like Affirm. I like the cannabis space as well. We're going to get to that in a minute.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, to Affirm, actually, for a change, a company that makes some money. You gotta like that. I wasn't looking at 101. I had I'm gonna leave it up on my board here, 95 for several days, because we saw this with some of the other IPOs recently. C3AI was a perfect example of this. If you found a really strong level that was dips into on the first day, and there was a turnaround price, a breakout, and then a bottom in the afternoon at 95, if it ever gets to that price, I'm gonna be a buyer the first time it goes there, and see if we can't get a nice little push off that level. But anytime I see consolidation, it looks like there was a bit of an iceberg that broke. 101 stands out. That's the first thing I'll be watching to see if we can bounce off of it. Mr. Wickens has a good one over there on the board there. I'm actually watching the same thing.
In the cannabis space, Sean was mentioning Aphria, guys, earnings better than expected. They just said on the conference call as well, they're still on track for the Tilray deal. So we'll have a look at Aphria. EXPR, a little one popping up this morning, still 45%. You go to the daily chart, 170 stands out. A big glaring level there, 170, and then 150 below that. So kind of watching this area. It's been up there already. We're still kind of chopping around between 150 and 170, 175. So just kind of grinding back to the downside for EXPR. It's just financing. They secured some more financing. It's an apparel maker, guys.
Yeah, they did.
I think with that one, to be perfectly honest, it's one of the ones where I really hope it bounces at 930 and gives you a test in the 160, 165 to be able to short off of these levels at the top here. So that's my look for that name. I do have a position. It's going to be in WEME. That's from yesterday, so sometimes it's a bit of a day two play. It was a 7 even break. I mean, you had the gap up, it retraced. It was a fantastic short all day long. Then you had the 7 even bottom. You came in this morning and it was the same 7 even floor. It broke it. I got short at 98 and I've been holding it ever since. I've gotten a little bit out, scalped out 8 cents, and then down here I was able to get 15. So it's a good start on WEME, but it's holding, not doing too much. I just think if the weakness is still there and the volume is low, which is a good sign, I think, we can maybe head back and close in a little bit more of the gap on WIMI there.
Okay, guys, and you talked about Aphria there. Good look on that one. I'm looking at CGC right here, breaking through 33. That's going to be temporary highs on that stock. Obviously, you have a 33.20 level. I wrote down on the sheet here $33 for J&J. Where is it? CGC, it's highlighted right there. Space, we're going to look at that, 31.70. But look at this one in the bottom. There, AMD, a little highlight there. AMD, I like this stock. Through this high right here, 92.60. We saw that yesterday, bounce. Look, I don't care about Intel getting a new CEO. That turnaround is going to take years. I love AMD. In my opinion, it shouldn't have fallen. One of my biggest trades yesterday was AMD on the average in. You guys saw that. And I think we can do it again today, but not average in. But we're going to wait for this 92.60 just to see if we can confirm it. That's really all. And then I do like space. I adjusted that. You guys got to look there. Everyone telling me to keep putting my post-it notes on Twitter, and I will. I get busy here in the pre-market, so I'll try to do that a little bit more for you guys in the next couple days. But 32.20 here on space. I know it's falling back down. I think this is something you could average into. Watch out for a 31 break though on space. I'm going to look at this as a high, taking out the high there. We'll find out how many shares are shortable on that one. I like plug to the downside here, 64. We've talked about that. that. Don't know, oops, my chart's not loading. 64, I don't know if that's going to hit, but we're going to wait to see if Plug does do that. But there is some excitement around this name, so a 67 break is more likely on that one, but we'll wait for that. And then the other play I have temporarily lined up right now is Fubo TV. All things Fubo there with some NBA talk from Brendan Wickens there on Fubo. I like this 38.25 break better than this 37 days high right now, but with only a minute to go. Those are some of the names that I'm watching. You guys know I'll be watching Palantir as well and Alibaba. So there's lots of names today.
We mentioned one with Luis with a minute to go to the bell here, OGEN. It's a bit of a gapper. It made a move to 117, 118. I talked about that level. You go all the way back here on a lower high that got put in 125. So that's the price range I'm looking at now that it's breached $1. If it gets there and there's any kind of turnaround, I'm looking to short OGEN through that level. Of course, if it retraces a buck even, I'm going to be all over that. That's just the name of the game. I'm also looking at Plug Power to the south side, but I will also try to take it if I can. If it's gonna test this 67 at the top at the open, I'd like to see if I can fade into it. If it breaks the high of the day, I will be quickly running to the exits on Plug. We've seen what happens when this thing gets going. You don't want to be caught in front of that moving train. So it is Thursday. It is going to be an exciting day. At least I think it's going to be. Ms. V is on the bell. Let's drop the countdown here and get this party started.
Yeah, let's watch J&J through 161, having a little bit of a problem right now. Fubo TV will watch it, but we're going to watch J&J right now. 3, 2, 1, give it, let's go. We'll see about some of these open trades that we have going on right now. Space trying to fall through. We're going to watch AMD as well. I'm watching J&J off the open here. I got to switch my chart to a 1-minute chart. Right now, nothing popping in for me. J&J coming back down to the downside right here. Let's take a long.
Yeah, I mean, nothing has actually hit just yet for me, but Plug immediately headed southbound. Forget about that wick. It never traded up. I had an offer to get in
there we go.
If it went to the upside, but it looks like it's testing the bottom. 65 at least for now. And GameStop not testing the high. That's actually coming down as well. Okay,
yeah, we're going to go long here. We are long now, 160 here. We're going to maybe play a 174, 175 break here, but we do go long right now. 160.51 on J&J. Just seeing if it can hold this 160. I also want to go longer if it does break back above 161. So a nice little dip buy here, hopefully, for J&J. Let's watch this 159 area downside, guys.
Yeah, so Plug, here comes that top. I wanted to have a short bias in it today, and the first leg was going to be, does it take out 67.33, which is the high? Now remember, it never actually traded up there. There's a dark pool print that came all the way up at 68. I was able to quickly just scalp off 50 pennies here, so it has held the high, at least for now. We'll go with trying to slay the dragon here that is Plug, but will not let the top break on me, guys. You know how strong the stock can be if it breaks the high and then tries to make a run. 72 is not crazy if we take a top break.
Okay, yeah, we're going to wait for 242.47 or so to break here on Alibaba. If it does go down, we'll see. We're going to take a long here on Alibaba right now. Did I just get it? I didn't get it there, but what am I bidding? Oh my God, I'm bidding 51s. Come on, I was bidding 51s there. How low did it go there? Oh my God, I just come on! I just missed Alibaba there by like 2 cents, I think. I was bidding 51s. It held that level, so there we go. CGC breaks off the top here, so Batman's trying to make a move. We talked about that $33. Good news from Afria, so we're going to go long right now. We're long at 03s here on CGC. We'll see how high or low this one wants to go. I'll probably give it back to this level here, 32.75 or so. I don't normally trade the weed stocks too great intraday, so we'll just wait to see here what happens. But we do have this high. We have Afria. We saw what Afria did on the report, so let's go. Alibaba, we get hit, Neil. There it is, big win.
Yeah, and there we go. It just got into some DPW, but I'll get you back to Plug. It's filled most of, well, it's not filling the gap. It's made the entire opening range here. So 65, I was able to take some shares out down there for like a $1.50 win. And the next stop is at 64. Remember, I like a 64 break just like Sean does, so I'm going to be flat on my position and look for a new trade if it gets down to that 64 area. That's going to be a good one. I did get that DPW. I promise I will tell you the story of the mistake I made. It was... I want to call it a small mistake. I consider it a big mistake, even though P&L-wise it wasn't, and I'll get to why later. But there was news yesterday actually accepting collateral, Bitcoin, Ether, and collateral and loans. And, of course, the news today with Amazon. It just broke 6 even. That's the only price I wanted to short below. If it gets back up to like a 620, looking for a reload. That stock faded all day yesterday. Let's see if it does the same thing today.
All right, and we're happy. We're really happy right now with CGC just making moves, guys. We have a big position on CGC. We talked about why we liked it. We saw Afria. I've been hammering CGC for a very, very long time, guys, and how much we've liked CGC. So we still do have Alibaba long there as well. And here it goes, man. Check in on our GRWG, Growth Generation brands. We're long on this one, guys. Okay, that's coming back down a little bit, but we're long here. $17, $18. Good little move high side. Okay, Alibaba.
Oh,
Alibaba resists that bottom of 242.50. Let's see if we can't get higher. We're going to see if we get some out at 244-ish if it goes. But Alibaba trying to make us a winner. And there goes CGC. Yes, sir. This is a big winner. This is what you're looking for. And yesterday, guys, bang. We're not going to hit over any coffees today as it's not full. So even if I do hit it over, we're okay today, guys. Big win for CGC. What's up, Pete?
Guys, earlier we were here, fuel cell, we mentioned on the downgrade side of things today, 8% now. There was buying initially at the open. They took it up to 1780. Coming back in, though, for fuel cell.
Coming back in is Affirm, and it just pulled back $4, and it's at 111. Big time breakout on Affirm. I thought we'd get a test and be able to take this dip buy at 101. You can pretty much forget about that. I think if it comes back to like 110, maybe we'll have a look at Affirm again. But that is off to the races, guys. I know a lot of you guys are looking at CNET. I'm going to get to that in just a little bit. I'm about to get some more shares in DPWs. It just tested above 6 and then came right back down. So we're going to load back in to DPW below that $6 range.
Daily goal, guys, met right there. Run it, spin it. It's already 934. We hit that already. Big win on Alibaba. Still going to the high side. Let's go. We've already met our daily goal, and we're holding this J&J against us. So, I mean, if this actually went for us, it would be nasty. But it looks like it's coming back down. We are going to get out, I think, soon. I don't know where my J&J out is. Oh, yeah, right there. So there we go. We're out now on J&J, but whatever. Up to the high side goes CGC all the way to 45, guys. Let's get some more out on here. But Alibaba with $1 win. This is why it's hot dogs for everybody. And Brendan, I know you're not a huge hot dog fan, but you can have one too. There you go.
Gee, thanks. CCIV, guys. Churchill Capital, the Lucid SPAC, 80% now in 3 sessions. Just broke 20 there on volume, guys.
Just got some shares out on plug in 65. Looks like the turn. Now my bid is down here at 64.40, 64.50. Looks like the turn. So 64, obviously a good level.
Yes, sir.
And a good call there. Bit of a bounce here. If it gets back up to 66, I'm not giving this to the high of the day because it's just a small amount of shares left. And by this point, you don't want to lose on anything that was this correct in terms of buying into that strength off of the open. So if we break back towards 66.50, I'll just get out and then look for that top level to play it again. A good look over on that name. Weeme's starting to run for me, guys, to the downside. I don't think this is going to cause me too much trouble here, but just got some out 88, just got some out 81, just got some out 75. So we'll do some backflips over this stock. Clear 7 break. I love those day 2 plays, especially when the levels are very obvious.
Yeah, buddy.
Brendan.
Let's go, Brendo.
Cruise lines, very strong, guys. News of yet another vaccine coming, helping CCL, 4.5%. NCLH, 4% now as well, guys.
All right, we're still waiting for Woof to open up, but we're woofing this thing like crazy today. Bang, another win, guys. The same stock, but same goal. Here goes Baba, man. What a great trade this has been. We take this 243 long. Now we're up to 245. We talked about why we like Alibaba, and here it goes to the high side. We may want to take some out. We do have a lot of shares, so we'll take some out of that one. And then CGC really hammered this one, guys. This was the break that we gave you guys early, so this was a good one. The pin set up for this. Basically going long through 33. Hells to the as we'll just make sure we take out some profits on these names. But CGC just mooned there up to 33.50. We'll take it out. We are light on CGC now, so as it comes back in. But let's just not ignore how good of a day this was to start off as we hit our goal with the first 2 minutes, guys.
Pullback on Affirm. I'm going to play it for the first time here. Pre-market high was a 105.50 break, so I'm going to play this in front of that consolidation break, starting the position at that 105, and then play in front of this consolidation 102 to 103. Remember 101 was a bit of a level as well. Plug actually somehow still in the money. Weeme working, and of course DPW, all shorts working. First new position is on a firm long. That is a heck of a pullback. Let's see if we can't bounce off that 102 range like it did in the morning. Well, at the open.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so we're very, very light now. Just to give you guys an idea on Alibaba, we have 20% left on Alibaba. So that's going to be a big win for us today as we slay the Alibaba dragon. No Jack Ma, no problem. Okay, and then CGC, the only other stock that we have on, right? So it's not that we're ignoring everything else. It's just these have been big trades for me. So we're trying to focus on making the right calls. Looking at that, we do have that plug power call as well, and I'm waiting for AMD to see what that does through that 9260 level. That's another level that we like as well on AMD, guys.
Yeah, and speaking of plug power, I should have reloaded on plug power. I don't know why I didn't. I just saw it go up to that 6650 and reject. So I might have missed an opportunity to get more short. Pie in my face. Brendan?
Speaking of semiconductors, this one as well. Taiwan Semiconductors, 5.5%. 122 down here. We're at 126. That last level up there, 126.80 for TSM.
Okay, we did it again right now. Hot dogs, let's go Space. Space takes out the high right here. So 32.20, let's see how high it wants to go. We're out a little bit here ahead of 50. So I don't know. I mean, Virgin Galactic does come all the way down to that 30.55, but now taking off. So watch out for the high side here on Virgin Galactic. We're in it right now, but we did get out of half there on that push to 40. So we saw 20 cents, we took it. Now Virgin Galactic trying guys, to go again. I'm trying to get J&J again. We did dump that on the very worst position possible to get out there. So that was a bad out, but I want to test it again right through 160.40. So you're going to see J&J fly through here hopefully very, very soon. As I tried to buy 45s there and missed. We got to get some 57s, guys. Let's go.
Yeah, I just took out a firm and then watch it bounce off that 101. So I'm going to reload in front of 101. That was the iceberg order that we had before. Plug actually takes out the, takes out my stop. It doesn't take out the top just yet. But I did throw that stop back in there when it snapped back off 66. So it's not going to be a losing trade because, of course, we had these shares above that price. Watch out. It did not trade 67.80. The high is this 67.33. So if you're looking for a break, that is the price you got to be concerned with, Brendan.
Ideanomics, very strong so far. Just double checking on headlines. $3 just broke there, guys, for IDEX on a volume spike, 12% today.
All right, so J&J does spike all the way up here. We didn't get our full load there on the downside, but we still like it. We tried. Did I get it? No, we didn't. We tried to get 145 on that 140 break right there, but we missed. So we did have to punch in to 150. So we did get a 150 break there on J&J, guys. Thank you so much for that, Arky. We will look at shrimp. We did talk about that before. There was some new technology there, but thank you so much for that. So we'll go falling down money for that 100. Thank you so much, Arky Shen. I will look at SH. What was it again? We'll look at that in a second. I do some work. SHMP, thank you for that super chat. That's a big one and mucho appreciated there. J&J, here we go. We're making that back, man. Damn it. Why didn't we just... I couldn't hold it, guys. There wasn't a huge position, but I just was afraid to go down. We should have held that one.
GameStop.
My bad on that one. GameStop's doing something, Neil?
It just broke 35, so it was doing absolutely nothing for the first couple of minutes at the open. It just broke the pre-market low, so I just got in on that break. Actually got 88. It's not a horrible price at all. Just to keep in mind, I'm going to show you a higher time frame in the daily chart. So how far this gap is absolutely crazy. You have to have an out on the way back up. There is actually decent liquidity here. I don't want it to get back to 36. Risk maybe about $1 on this, but if it fills even a little bit, this thing could go back to like a 32, 31.40, 31.50 yesterday's close, or maybe a 32 area. But I got to give it only about $1. A firm bounced here, about $1.50 in the money at the most, but it's come back down to 103. If it gets above 105, I'll definitely have half of it out at that point.
Okay, big things happening right now. GameStop, we are averaged in now short. I didn't notice that, man. That was a great break, 35. I should have put that order in. I talked about it in the pre-market and just basically ignored it, so good on me. But now we're still going to use that 36, I think, same as what Neil was talking about there. On a 36 break, we'll address that a little further. CGC coming back from life a little bit, although we are light now on CGC, guys. We just hammered that. We got out a little bit there, so we do have that 10% left, so it's not a huge position for us at all on CGC. And then there goes J&J, now 35 cents back in the money. If you double dipped with me here, you're laughing right now as J&J continues to move higher here.
Yeah, and I said if we got on a firm, I would take some profit off in front of that 105 mark. So that's what I did. The first long I had, of course, going to be a losing trade. So if it gets to that VWAP and turns around, I wanted to make sure I locked in a couple of bucks on the way back. So just took half out for $2. Hopefully just going to end up probably trying to make back what we lost. I see a snapback like this, and I'm not even anticipating we're going to get back to like 110 or 113. I'll be very happy with like a 107 area and then taking $5 on this, essentially just making back what we missed on that first little play. Watch out for the move in both plug to the upside and GameStop. Looks like it might make a run at 36. Brendan, what's up, buddy?
Back action for you. NPA, New Providence acquisition. 14 was up way more than that in the pre-market, but just bounced off $15 there. They're going to merge with AST Sciences, which is a space play, guys. So NPA up on that ETF news.
Okay, NPA, good mover there. We did talk about that. I just got out of Virgin Galactic as it does break back down to the downside there. So Virgin Galactic takes out that level for me, and we did just get out of that. So we always talk about our winning trades and our losing trades. We did take some out there at 40. I told you we took out half there. So it's a negative stock, but could have been a hell of a lot worse, obviously, on that name. So space, good look. I still think we can go long if it does take out the top, but some of these things take a minute. There goes J&J, guys, and we go hell yeah on this one. Big monster trade for me again right there. We take the 161 break all the way to the upside. I talked about why I love J&J so much, and I have no idea why I took that out there for that 60-cent hit there, but now we run to the upside with J&J. A big win for me on that one. So yeah, good on us, good on everything. CGC, we're almost out there at 35. We watch out for that VWAP. We now have 5% left, but all my positions right now going quite well. We're just waiting for GameStop to make a move.
Yeah, GameStop's just hovering. 35 goes to 35.50, now back down to like 35.20. OGen is what I have up here. It did briefly at the open break a buck, but then snapped back a little too quick for my liking. It did not test the high. I like that, at least for now. If it goes back below $1, I'm shorting the $1 break on OGen when it comes. Brendan, what's up?
This little SOS going again. Remember, we talked about this going back to, I think it was last week. It came in with crypto. This is a crypto play, so just be careful if anyone's watching this SOS. 30%, guys.
All right, 91.50.
SOS. Please, you know what? Whatever. I'm not singing that song because nobody wants to hear me sing. I want to go quickly, if I can, to Max. Maxar here. That was another name up 14%, of course, on the news of this space ETF. It's going absolutely sideways. I'm a little bit scared this is about to roll over, and so watch out for like a 43.70 break selling on this news a little bit. After seeing Virgin Galactic pull back, I would not be surprised. This takes out the bottom. Not even much of a gap fill, gives you a nice little trade, and the volume is not that good. It's only 500,000 shares. So if you have it, maybe take profits if it breaks 43.50.
Oh, man, like a big trade alert, guys, for me here. So we're not going to hit bang. We'll just do some money. We'll explode some money through the air. Now, J&J, guys, what a big trade this has turned out to be for me. Never be scared, guys. Like, my read was great. We got out there, but we went back in. We got back in again through 161. And, man, did I call, in the pre-market, J&J was, look at this. Check out the pink sheet, or the pink sheets. Check out the sticky note there. Which one has all the stars beside it there? You can see that. 161 J&J. Okay, so we hammer that one, and then we take that money out. Big trade there. Another one here, AMD, taking out sort of this level there. It's a smaller trade. It does go to 91.80. You guys know we were looking for a 90. What do I have written down here? 92.60. So much higher than this for our friend AMD. But down comes GameStop. This could be a big win for me if it does get through 34, guys.
It just got to like 34.50 before turning around. I was actually considering if I should have taken some shares off. But the other name I'm watching here is right at VWAP, right at 105, that Affirm. It's the second long trade I've had, of course, lost on the first. If it cannot hold this consolidation, I'll probably dip out of this at 104 just to put a bit of a trailing stop in. I don't want it to come all the way back in, test 101, and I didn't take some more profit on this name. Brennan.
We mentioned analyst moves on that F-cell. Here's another one. Sun W, big move today to the upside. 11.5 held there right at the open, all the way up to 13 almost for Sun W, guys.
This time, I'll take some out on GameStop. That 34.50 that I just mentioned a couple of seconds ago, it got there, it tested it. I didn't do anything about it. This time, I'm going to actually take some shares off. If we get back up into this 35, like 25, 35 range, it gives me the opportunity to make a decision to take some more shares if I still like it. Of course, I also can now get a 34 break if I still want to have the same amount of shares as before. I just don't want this to have made a higher low, screaming to the upside, and I made nothing on that short trade. So taking some profit on GameStop there. It's only going to be like a 30 cent. Check that. It's actually a 50, 60 cent win. But on this stock, it's already gone $5 back from the top. That's really not a heck of a lot.
No. I'm waiting for GameStop. I'm going to try to get this thing out. Like, if we can get 31s, that'll be nice.
31.40, I like.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. I mean, yesterday was an $11 winner. I said we're not going to get greedy and expect that every day, guys. So let's just hold out on trying to make some $11 winners here on GameStop again. Not to say that we can't do that, but we'll wait, guys. So we are short here, 34.70 on GameStop. We did empty the load there on J&J, so that was a good trade. We're very, very light now, waiting to see what it does at VWAP, but J&J, a good trade for us here today. AMD, we just take on a whim there. Gets out some 83s. Let's see what it does around 92. I definitely like some J&J. And then CGC, man, still riding high there with that. Pun's not going to ever get old, as we are now 48 cents in the money and still in the money. This one's never gone against us. This is the CGC, my number one cannabis
Ford's
play.
Ford's at $10.
Yes.
On my chart, it broke. I see 101 is the high, so there's not a lot of size in level 2. It's possible it was there the first time. I didn't see it until now, and I see a 1001 high, so it's possible it broke. If not, I might still take this trade for like that 99 scalp break, but that's a lot better if you see like that million shares on the offer. Sorry, check that. It was 2 million shares on the offer, I believe, yesterday on Ford at 10. I don't see it here today.
Yeah, and we actually went long GM yesterday as well. I tweeted that position out at 48. So big win for us on GM today as well in the personal account. So everything working right now. There goes AMD. Hell yeah, AMD. We love you long time. Go up, AMD. What's up, Rendo?
I just saw SMH all-time highs, guys, the ETF for semis. FRS, one we talked about yesterday, popped up on, this is Foresight Autonomous. They're doing a deal with a prominent Japanese automaker. They didn't name which one. I had offers up here in the 7s for this, but just falling apart today for FRSX.
All right. FRSX. We did take a little bit of GameStop there for 40 cents. It is bouncing right now off 34.25. Let's just watch that break, guys. This has just been a monster day for me again, guys. Double day net right now. Double day goal already. Look at AMD. Bang to the upside. That's a big winner. And again, I think on Instagram, I'm going to put this up. If you can follow, you can. We're going to put up our sticky note on Instagram today. Look at all this, guys. Fubo, Lemonade, CGC there, J&J there, AMD at the bottom. Big time win. And there goes GameStop. Welcome to $1 in the money right now, GameStop. Let's just keep on going. I don't have any downside targets other than down here, 31 and change. Bye-bye, GameStop. Let's see how far this one can go. Big trade alert over here on GameStop.
Yeah,
guys.
I just took another leg out when 34 broke. Use that momentum to get 33.81. That's $1.50 in terms of return. If we get that 31.40, of course, from yesterday, that'll be the last out for me. Affirm came in, so we'll line that one up and knock it out. It got up to like 108 or so, maybe even a little bit higher than that. My order was sitting here in front of it, 107.50. So like I said, take about $5. I mentioned I didn't expect it to get to 110. I wasn't sure where the turn was going to be, so I wanted to lock in the profits. Again, I'm going to be slightly up on it because I did lose on that first trade that we had. But a good look there. I'll get to Weenie in a second. That's also working in the money, guys. Brendan.
More cannabis action. Cron, guys. Wow, 7.3%. 52-week highs today for Cron.
Buddy, and we just keep on running things right now. I mean, just look at what I have on. GameStop, $1.40, $1.50 in the money. Boom, winning out right there on GameStop, guys. That's been a big stock. AMD, 70 cents in the money. CGC, 60 cents in the money. And then J&J, whatever. We've smoked that one. Good trade for J&J today for me. We're waiting on that. We're in the money still, 20 cents. But 20 cents for me, apparently now, doesn't seem to be too much. So let's just keep on going. CGC upside, man. GameStop. I wasn't joking when I said 31, guys. So let's just see what happens now. 31. Big trade for me on GameStop. Bang, bang, bang. Let's just see how low this one wants to go. Big win. I hope you guys have this with us.
Yeah, sorry, just reloading my chart there because it froze on me. I just got plugged when it broke 64, so new positional. We talked about that level being different from the previous short that I had into 64, but now loading back into plug, just to see how far the gap is going to fill. I was going to tell you guys about Weemy. If it breaks this 650, I'm looking at about 625, that 6-quarter mark, to be my last out. I'm just holding on to the last of these shares as it starts to, as it continues to work for me there, but Space Virgin Galactic is another one that we were talking about. It just bounced hard off of 30, and that's a monster missed opportunity there. I missed this double bottom, but if it comes back down and gives you any kind of chance to test off of 30, it's probably going to be worth it.
Okay, so we did take a plug power short there through 64. So we got to wait to see. It does resist that move, but the high side back to 65 is really what makes me nervous here on plug. I told you that we were looking short on that name. It's just I took the ultimate short when it did break there. It does go in the money about 60, 70 cents, but it doesn't matter. We didn't take it. So now we got to watch out for this 65.12, 65.20, something like that to break to the high side now with plug. It doesn't look like a very good one, guys. GameStop sure as hell does. And now so does Ford. So Ford, we take this long breaking through $10, guys. Let's see what Ford does right now, guys. Good trade. This was one of my biggest trades last week. Let's see if we can't do something again with this. Big trade alert right now on Ford.
Just going to go over to, well, we know Wolf is going to be coming in a little bit there. You just saw it on the bottom. Trade from yesterday, ZOM. All I'm going to say about this is you guys, someone mentioned the funny story about Tiger, whatever the Tiger show was on Netflix. You can look it up if you want.
King.
Tiger King, fine. Either way, I've been shorting this and only shorting it. I like the buck. I'm going to really like this 90-cent mark if it ever gets here again and holds below. It's been failing shy of where I would like to get it short. So I'm going to continue the game I was playing before, which is essentially playing off those even levels. 90 cents is going to be the next one here on ZOM.
Neil, tell me you have Ford. Tell me you have Ford long, Neil.
All I can say is my chart froze at the absolute worst time possible.
Oh, no. Yeah, we got Ford. Only because Neil brought it to my attention. I wish he had it. I don't know if he had. Well, now I know he doesn't, so sorry about that. But $10.06. Big time trade alert now. Guess what, guys? Triple day goal right now. What up, Brendo?
There's this little DTSS going crazy, guys. Very careful with this one if you want to trade it. Super low float, high short percent on this as well. Just broke 4 there for DTSS. 71%, guys.
DTSS. I'm going to have to add that one to my list. I just went over to Space a couple of seconds ago, and it's immediately at VWAP. I think it's a bit of a turn happening here, so I'm going to go ahead and throw a bid down. I don't want to miss it. That's really the problem. So usually I wouldn't stand in front of the train, but I am going to throw a bid down in the 30-60 range because I don't want to miss this trade if it does come back down. I want to start the position up there. Willing to add a lot closer to that $30 mark if I can, but because I'm not going to miss it here, I can't have all of these stocks on alert. I'm going to throw a nice little order there on Space. It's just a little bit of a trick of the trade to make sure I don't miss out on any potential upside. I do want to quickly go also back to Affirm. We're tracking a lot of different names here today. It did get to 110, so I don't know. I guess that's pie in my face. It's probably not going to go all the way to 110 before pullback. Yeah, it just went to 110 without pulling back. I got out at 107.5. If it retests at 101, I think it's all systems go. If it gets back to this 115 high, I'd look for a 115 breakout because it's looking like it's a heck of a lot stronger momentum-wise than I was anticipating. I thought it would level off the second day. It just hasn't.
Okay, yeah, Affirm, good trade there. We're still waiting for Wolf to go through. And man, are we just el fuego right now on these stocks, guys. Making a lot here, doing really well once again today. So really happy with this performance. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, I have like 6 positions on right now. And the one that's made me the most nervous here, of course, is Plug Power. So we've been emptying it out a little bit. Let's just hold on. Oh, now it's coming back down. Okay, Plug Power. We did get some out there at 60 on that break. Once it broke and we noticed it didn't go, we just took some 07s there. We took some 23s. So it's not going to be, I'm going to cancel my bid on the downside. Let's just see how far it goes. If it does break 63, we still have our 65 out for that name, but whatever, we'll wait on that. J&J still 23 pennies in the money, 161.50. We're looking at that one in the face. We got our Plug Power on, and we've got Ford rocking and rolling to highs right now. Again, man, we're still long Ford 650. So this is a good trade intraday for us as well as it breaks higher. Let's see, do I have some 7s? I don't even have any offers out on this one. We got to check on Tesla as well. Give it to us, Brendo.
Another one from yesterday, guys. EHang. Remember those really cool-looking personal flying cars? That was this one. EH, 20% again today. Just broke 45 there on volume, guys.
EHang. GameStop now making moves back to the upside. So there we go, man. We take out a little bit down there, a good amount actually, and now we're testing it back to the high side. So watch out for GME. It does bottom out there at 33, so maybe it's getting some momentum now to the high side. Watch out for GameStop, guys. Still making moves. And guess what? The cannabis sector, the weed Batman is in the building. I gave this call to you guys early. Thank you so much if you have this, but that's why you want to join us early, guys, for that. because we gave you 33. Welcome to 80 cents clean. Never even thought about going against you on that one, guys.
Yeah, I talked about OGen at 125. It got into that price range. It did just make a turn. It broke. It got to 126 and came back down. I didn't get shares until literally 22. I should have had 23, 24, but it was a little slow to the draw there. I got some out at 20, some there at like 19.5 or so, but it looks like it's headed back up. Can't let it break the high of the day. If it fails again at 25, I'll likely maybe add into a few more shares here. I still have that last little bit of GameStop. It's still below that 36 range, so I'll manage that position. But I still think there's some downside to it. I'm going to move my stop down, though. It was a little bit higher up at that 36 half area. But right now, managing that OGen.
Okay, yeah, OGen, good look there. And we got to watch out for VWAP here. I just put my order at VWAP. We'll see if it can go. I'm pretty happy with this profit right now on CGC, but I do realize that it could drop down. We did have that candle there. I don't know what happened to that. I'd hate to have gotten out on that, which generally I do. Plug Power's the only one that we can throw into the gates of hell there. We did reverse to the long side, so we'll see if we can make something back on the long side, but we definitely lost too much there going short on that 64 break, but now we're back up to VWAP, so we are reversed long, but it's only right here, 65.30, so this is basically where we got out. It's a small position long, it's nothing. It does go to VWAP. We'll watch out for 66 on this play, but Ford has been the trade for me for the day. I mean, realistically, it's been CGC, but Ford, a big one, man. Now to 09s. Hello. We love that, and we love Alibaba. We love GM. Yesterday, we put on a new position, and Ford just still rocking and rolling. We will check back when Brendan's. I guess he's not ready yet. Let me check back on.
I'm gonna hit this one here. Just got OGen out there, so there was a plan of action. I know Luis, when we talked about this, wanted it below that dollar range. I think that's a fantastic look, and I'll probably still hammer a buck if it gets down there. But I like some of these when they go parabolic up. It was the second move. Forget about 115. I wanted that 117 to 125 range. It turned at 125. I didn't get anything till 22s, but look, I'll just take it back to 114 because there was consolidation at 12, and you got to expect that maybe there'd be a bit of a bid when it got back to that price. Maybe that'll be the true. Who cares? I'm in. I'm out. I'll look for the next entry. We come back from Brendan at the big screen with Happening Now.
Hey guys, yeah, just like that, 10 o'clock, let's have a look at North American markets here. You can see it is still, the NASDAQ actually was leading significantly up above 0.5% there, but look at the Dow trying to catch up here, 0.5% for the Dow as well. The S&P 0.3%. You can see the 100, NASDAQ 100 is lagging ever so slightly. And yeah, record highs yesterday for the Russell, so that means more record highs today, 1.25% to the upside for the Russell. The TSX BOVESPA as well down in Brazil, both in positive territory. Let's have a look at a couple of names that we were talking about in the pre-market. I mentioned Tesla looking a little bit weaker in the pre-market. Yeah, not so much. They bought up 840, they bought up 838, back to 848, trying to take out day highs for Tesla, closing that gap. Fubo TV, on the other hand, watch this support from yesterday down here around 35, trying to hold at 35, but big flush there from 36.5 all the way down to 35 for Fubo, guys.
I knew there was a stock that we were forgetting there, but yeah, I mean, you can't trade everything. I've said that like a million times. I still have DPW, and there's a lot of chop around this 6 level, and I'm short at 94. And yes, maybe I could have tightened my price up. I took some profit out in the 80s for that 10 to 15 cent scalp, and I could have loaded back in when it got to 6. But I've been basically staying away from it, and I have one more bid down here to get to half the position size, and then I'll just wait for this area to break. I love this consolidation below pre-market low. Well, it's not really a pre-market low, I guess. You know, if you go to like 8 o'clock. On volume pre-market low is what I'll say post that crazy news. And I do promise I will tell you the story about this little wick here. It was absolutely insane, and it has a rule that I'm going to give you a little bit later on in the show. But I just got the fill at 81, so we'll go with the roller coaster ride because that's what DPW's been. Next level I'm holding to is going to be about 570 or so. If I get a fill down here, it's actually like 68 where my bid is. I think we can go all the way back to like a 550. This stock rolled over all day. After a positive news yesterday, I think the same thing could be in the cards today.
Okay, we're going to get a little bit here at 09, and we're going to wait for some 10s here on Ford. So that's a 10-cent win right there. So 1% up. A nice little trade here on Ford in at 10.02, and then just scalping it like a like I do here through it. So let's just see if 10 goes. I'm sitting here on a gateway that will hit me. That's not a paid gateway. So hopefully I can get like a little sniff here at 10 there. I'm actually using Boss X, so you can look that up. For those of you at Day Trade the World, that's an inverted gateway. So we can get rebates. We pay to get that fill. That's what inverted means. Okay, J&J still, man. That was one of my big trades. Nice little move to the high side there, 161. Watching out for that. So good move on J&J. Still holding the long here, guys. And we do miss that 10. Let's take a little bit more at 9 in case that was the top. Give it to us, Brendo.
So we have that Wolf coming. Petco is coming, not open yet, but Pets at Home Group conveniently today breaking recent highs here through 35. Very, very low volume, a little bit thinly traded, but Pets, guys, on the move.
How many times are we going to see the same thing happen where it's like the IPO and you just buy the sympathy name in the morning? I don't know, whatever. It seems like it's a daily, not a daily occurrence, like a weekly occurrence there. I mentioned 568 on DPW, and in the same minutes just immediately hits that bid. I probably, just in case something crazy happens here, I should throw a bid down here in front of that 550 mark, which I said was going to be the next out. I threw in the chat, and I actually, very quickly, you're going to see I'm out of GameStop here, and I just had a level 2 up, and I saw it bounce off of, look, I saw it turn at 36, right? My stop was at 36 originally. Slams to the downside. I saw this 35 fail break and was like, whoa, 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 whoa. That turnaround was harsh. I just punched out of my position, said I'm going long when it breaks at 36. So I want to make sure I told you guys that like as fast as I could. We talked about this with Luis, like maybe when he came on. Sometimes it's about just looking at the level 2 and reading the tape. I was going to give the short to 36. When I saw that fail push down at 35 and then snap back up, the way the bid was responding and just the momentum to the upside on the tape, I decided I'd rather not be still short and look for the long when it did break that 36 in VWAP. So I am now long in GameStop for the first time in 2 days. Clearly, it should have been yesterday, Sean.
Yeah, I was long yesterday. I'm long with you now again as well. So let's see how high we can go. Bang! Nice little win on GameStop, guys. We're positive on this stock despite having this short. Bang, bang, out there, out, out, out. Again, we are long right now on GameStop. Same thinking. 36.16 long. So here we go. Let's see how high it can go. I don't like the long, though, to be honest with you. But we can wait to see. Again, we have it. So let's just hold it. See if 38 can come into play here on GameStop. We're 2 times our daily net, so that's a good one. Plug power, 44 cents now in the money. We're using 65 as our stop. We notice that there's some high spots here as well. Possibly going for us there is GameStop.
It's going. It's going. It's about to get that 37. I just took some out at 88. I took some out in front of 50. I want to get in the position where I can now hold it to like this 38, 38.5. I'm still along the line of thought that if it gets to 40, I'm probably going to be doing some kind of a test to short it, depending on what it looks like when it gets there. So I'm probably not going to be still long this position if it gets past that 39 range. But now that we've taken a couple targets out, I'm going to move my stop up from where it would have been at about 35.50 to break even. I don't want this to even lose. If it goes back below VWAP by like 10, 15 cents, I'm just going to get out.
Yeah, I just put my order at 37.50 there. We're going to see if this one can run here. GameStop, big trade for us yesterday and trying to make it that one today. Ford. Boom! That was a great idea. Thanks for that one, Neil. We were looking at this yesterday as well. We lost too much money on GM yesterday. But Ford, again, guys, right now, unless something catastrophic happens, we're going to go perfect for December here so far. Or December. We had 4 negative days in December. Perfect in January. Ford just running. Big trade, guys. We took a lot of shares on that one. We punched Ford in the face just like we did at 950. 950 was net-wise one of my biggest trades that I've had on the show in a long time. That might not be true. What's up, Brendo?
Another pharmaceutical name here, LXRX. Lexicon getting FDA approval for a diabetes treatment. So a big pop here, almost 40% for LXRX, guys.
I actually remember that name. And someone turned the heat on, so that's a good thing. That also means I have to take off my Maple Leaf sweater because it's getting a little hot in here. If you get too hot, to have a cool drink of lemonade. I've sort of been saying this, and look, I absolutely love this stock. I liked it at 70. I had said how difficult it is to make sense of some of the run that it's had up here, and that it was probably due for a pullback. They did have an offering. It looked like it was trying to hold up. There was no test of that 187 at the top, and now you're starting to pair back in. I'd be very, very cautious with this below like 160. I mean, for goodness sakes, if you haven't taken profit when you're long at like 70 or $100 and your plan is to actually not hold it for life, I don't want it to fill this gap and you're seeing like 140, 145 come back in. And we've seen this happen before it loads back up on some of these names. It already had a 40% pullback once. It wouldn't be crazy for it to do it again. But Lemonade is coming to the downside, down 6% now. And if 160 breaks, I'd be cautious of it. The opening trade, wow, 170 break. Wasn't on my radar, and I'm not sure. Well, actually, I don't know why, because of GameStop.
I like that sweet, refreshing drink, lemonade. Good call on that one. And we know, what was it? Brendan liked limonade, right? That was.
I don't get, yeah.
Brendan likes the limonade. Okay, again, this is going to be embarrassing because we don't have very many shares, but even if we get out here at the bottom, we still have a positive trade on AMD because we scalped it out here, 92.20 there. It goes basically to the high that we were looking at, 92.60, and turns around. I'm going to get out of this one if it breaks below 80 here on that name, so that's going to be hopefully a good call. Ford at its day high, so we hit the swish on that one. And then look at this, guys. Plug Power, turn that frown upside down on a nice little long of Plug. 65.32 right now, in the money, $1 plus. And then GameStop, oh my God, it does go to 37.11. I was at 37.40. So let's see, maybe we put another order here, 36 and change, see if we get out a little bit. But GameStop still holding high and bouncing off that VWAP. So I think it's worth getting a little bit more out here, as it doesn't look like it wanted to take that out, 37. It tried and then stopped and fell back down. So like I said, a much different day today than it was yesterday on Game.
Yeah, definitely. And it was very cheap man, those shorts were really, really cheap. And I feel like that might have been a sign, but who knows? FRSX, I mean, what an unbelievable short this was. I wish I had it. I don't. If you're watching OGen, we're going to come back from Brendan in a second, but there's a big seller at 113. I got out of my short. Maybe I shouldn't. Brendan?
Another one a little bit thinly traded here, but on a tear. The past couple of days, this FINV in New York, 10% again today. Broke through 250 going back to last week, and it's just been straight upside. Almost 375 now on a big volume spike for FINV.
So I just mentioned that before we went to Brendan here, there's a seller. There's 500,000 shares at 113. Now, interesting enough, this had just bounced off of VWAP. This was also a bit of a breakout price. We want to wait to 110 on the way up. It was a pullback consolidation before making the move to 125 that I liked for the short trade. So if this is someone holding it down, again, I don't know if that's true. This is someone holding it down for another pop. I'm not going to short off of this level. A lot of times I would, but it just doesn't smell right to me. So if it breaks, I might take something in like the 120 range if it gets the momentum to move into that price. I just got stopped out of GameStop, and I said I would have a bit of a tight stop there, and it might have been too tight. But I wasn't planning on holding this one too long. If it tested high to the highs of the day, I was likely to reverse into a short. I'm just happy that I actually was willing to play in both directions on the stock today. So either way, it's going to be a win for me. I think a moral win, but also up in P&L wise anyways.
Yeah, we're down with the moral wins as well. You got to take any win you can in this game, guys. Okay, so we're still long GameStop. We should have got out some 37. We're going to use 35.50 as our out. So yesterday was a fantastic day on that one. You guys saw that. And again, today not super exciting, but still worth it a bit. Plug Power dips below 66. That's going to be our out, guys. If that happens again, we got to make sure we take that 70 cents. And you know, like I said, a win is a win, and you got to make it count if you're going to take it. So we will wait to that 66 break. We'll get out of, or sorry, is that 60? Yeah, 66 break. We are long though, 65.31. So a nice $1.35 in the money right now on Plug Power. What's up, Brendo?
Seeing some energy names coming through here. Marathon, first off, MRO, almost 8% here, guys, for MRO. Nice look, just straight upside since the open.
Man, it's like all of these stocks, man. Like all the oil names keep coming. Oh, tomorrow we have Kevin O'Leary on. So we'll talk to him a little bit about day trading is gambling. Some of that thought that he had on that name, on that thought, actually. And then we will talk to him about some picks. He was talking about ExxonMobil and whatnot. The last time he was here, we've seen that big run happen in that space. We know he's a value guy. So we've got some questions for Mr. Kevin O'Leary, who will be here tomorrow at 10:30. So 24 hours from now, we got Mr. Wonderful on the show, guys.
And I'm standing in front of a train, and the train is going to be MaxR. I absolutely love the idea of that ETF, and I think MaxR, of course, is going to be in it. But I just saw this formation double top. I'll get in and out very quickly, and it's going to be a tight stop trade. But I see the pullback once off 47.75 high, making a double top. I rolled into some shares short. I then broke through the top. And the reason I like it is because 48 is right here. So if it reverses off of that level, going to be worth a look one more time. The breakout could also be on. The volume is holding up in MaxR. It's not huge, but relatively speaking, this is big for MaxR, 1.5 million shares. A smaller name that could find its way into that new space ETF.
Look, I just got this alert on my phone, guys, here. What's up to the pixel? Yeah, stay home alert. I'm out of here.
Huh?
I'm out of here. I got to go home. I got an alert here from the government. Yeah. I don't need to be arrested. You guys don't want that to happen, do you? It could be good television, though, I think, right, Valeria? If they come in here and arrest us all. But no, we are not breaking any laws. It's a stay-at-home alert. If you are not able to work from home, and you can work from home, they're asking you to do that. So everybody, please, in Ontario, please stay safe. And we are here working for you guys, but we are keeping our social distancing. As you guys know, Neil and I used to sit beside each other. We've been like this now for
I got a screen out of it.
Year. Yeah, you still have the screen there. So we've been like this for quite a while. So please, everybody, just stay safe. Yeah, just that showed up on my phone. So I was like, what the heck? But okay, we still are watching Plug Power. And yeah, everything making some nice moves for us. Although GameStop does break that 35.50. I'm now holding 10% of what we have left. Just going to see about the bottom. But I do like the short better than the long. So I don't really know why I'm stuck here long, to be honest with you.
Yeah, and so someone just mentioned a firm. I was going to say I might have just got tricked out of a trade in OGen when I saw that size on the offer. This 110 area, I mean, I said it wouldn't get there. It did get there. Now made a bit of a double top. I don't love this level. And again, I usually like to confirm something like this with a previous chop range from before. I don't love that because it's a day 2 of an IPO. If I don't have a corresponding level the day before or something on a higher time frame, it's hard for me to just take this in the middle of nowhere for a short trade. So I'm not touching a firm on a 110. I know normally it might look like a decent setup, and if in the previous weeks you had some chop and some reason to believe there'd be resistance, I'd be all over it. I just said I possibly got tricked out of the short at 113 because I thought it was fake size, but watch out. Yeah, whatever. It just kind of tanked. So I probably should have got in on that consolidation. Sometimes the level 2 is going to psych you out, and it looks like it did there. Whoa. I actually just saw that offer now at 107, the same 50,000 shares. And you know what? If I fall for this, and I might get burned here because I'm gonna short this at 106 and probably into that one even. And if I get burned, it was at 113. The size followed it down to 107. So if I can pick some shares up to the south side at 106, I'm gonna go ahead and do it. Entirely possible that order is fake, guys.
Okay, so let's just regroup here
Yep.
on
Fake size.
Yep. Okay, let's just regroup here on GameStop a little bit. So we're flat on that stock now, slight loser on the P&L today, but that's okay, as we did well on it yesterday. But today, I don't know, getting caught long there was a little, not silly, we made some money on it, but we should have got out on that VWAP break considering the fact that I was favoring the short all day. So we'll get out of that one and we'll look to get back loaded into that short at some point. Ford, okay, Ford still making moves out of the high side. You guys can see that, 10.15. This is the beautiful long right there. Get a little bit more out if we can, but let's go to Brendan first.
We were talking about NNDM, big offering announced in the pre-market. Just tested that high. The initial high at the open there, 10.50, got rejected once again. So lots of volume in this name, but only a 40-cent range so far. It gets above 10.50. Might give you a trade though, guys. NNDM.
Yeah, so I just immediately got in and out of that OGen. That size pulled in 106 short, out 107. Again, it actually feels like someone legitimately shorted up here and then used that order to maybe get themselves out by holding the bid down. So I wanted to go back to Tesla because we did talk about this name on the potential dip buy. Tesla's not giving you that chance. Why even try to wait for it? Bad news, schmad news. I don't think either one of us was deterred by the bad news. I just thought, given the way that it traded off of this level a couple of days ago, I'm talking about 860, which is here right now, that maybe you'd get a bit of a shot to pull back on Tesla. That has not happened. But just worth a note, this felt like an absolute rock at the open off of 860, and it's looking like it's trying to attempt to turn here at 859. And it's not because I want to get some pink shorts. It's because I am going to take a shot at it right here at that 860. But I want to have as tight a stop and as little of a loss as possible if that 860 goes again. It went to 860 and 10 cents and slammed back down, which would be a bit of a fail break for anyone that punched long when 860 went.
Yeah, and that's the thing. You got to watch out if people get trapped, right? There's a lot of people that get trapped in their positions, so you got to watch out for that and see if we can't take advantage of that. We're still waiting for WOOF to open, so that's to come, hopefully. And if there's any updates, I don't think Icon really updates them as they go, but WOOF coming soon, hopefully. Okay, there it is. What's up?
Yeah, no update yet on WOOF, but I'll keep you posted, guys. Delta. So they reported in the pre-market, they reported a loss of $2.53. They were talking about their cash burn rate, which came in lower than expected. So going forward into the current quarter, their cash burn rate a little better than expected from what analysts were looking at. So 5% here for Delta, guys, upside.
Oh, that's pretty good. I am going to, and I don't usually do this, and it's always a mistake if I don't, quickly scalp $2 out on Tesla, risking $1. I usually structure it this way. It's like either that 1-to-1 or 2-to-1, depending on the trade. You take that profit out for your first exit. I don't on Tesla because I always think it's going to go more. But if I want to walk away actually making money on a Tesla short, got to take what it gives you at first. Now, if it breaks 860, I won't be losing on the trade. And the way Tesla trades, it's very likely to do that. But if it continues this consolidation, that's definitely going to be usually a solid sign I like if the volume is low. On Tesla, it feels like the read is always wrong. So if it doesn't go in the next few minutes, that could also be cause for me to cover that trade as well. Yeah, there's my bid, thinking that there would be another shot at space on that double bottom at 30. Let's just go ahead and cancel that because I don't think I'll be getting that bid down at 30.60. Now that we're trading through $33 on Virgin Galactic, that was as good a break as you'll get at that 27.50 on Virgin. That was a great level on a higher time frame. And then on top of that, you get fantastic news, of course, with another space ETF there in the space.
And yeah, we had that space break at 32.20. We took a little bit of money on it, then lost on that VWAP break. And yeah. So there's another trade, guys. Like, yell at me in the chat if you think I should be holding on to some of these instead of getting out. We made the same mistake on J&J as well, but we get revenge on J&J because that bit breaks up, and we make money, even though we were losing on that first trade there, out at the worst possible spot on J&J. And then we got out again on that break. That was just the last 10%. So we're going to see if that can break back above. But again, these are those vaccine plays, and we talked about those all the time on the show, and that I don't really like them. So we tried to play some momentum. I think we got it, but then you got to remember, one of the best stocks to own, J&J, not one of the best stocks to trade. Doesn't seem to want to move too much. Alibaba was, again, just such a great trade for me here today as well, defending that 242 level. It eventually breaks on our last 10%, but that was a big move to the upside for me on Alibaba. We went long here, 243.50, out 245 was our best out there. So I love Alibaba, and congratulations again to Greg over on the other side there, as him and I bought some of this yesterday near the close. So we're in the money now, that 3-4%. So that's a good look for us on Alibaba. However, it's a long-term play. So we're not super excited about this move. Nice that it's going up, but we're not getting out of that anytime soon, guys.
There goes Tesla breaking 860 at the top. So, I mean, it basically lose like 50 pennies there. So actually going to be overall up on it. And my order, I actually got a pretty good fill there. So not as big a hit as you would expect depending on slippage. I'm going to go to that LXRX, if only because it just pushed through this $5 level. If it gets anywhere close to, I think this like 650, I should say, I'm probably going to start thinking about it on a bit of a turn. If it gets there, I'll be looking at it. Plug is absolutely insane. It just took out the top. So there is Plug power. I mean, whatever, man. I've only been shorting it, thinking it's going to be bearish, but it just took out the high of the day. The pre-market high, ignore that wick there at the open. It did not print to 67.80 off the open. That was a dark pool print, Brendan. Oh, small cap recap. Brendan at the big screen.
Hey guys, yeah, 10:20. Let's have a look at a few names we were talking about in the pre-market as far as small caps are concerned. This is going to be a good lesson for anyone who wants to or is thinking about trading in the pre-market. This is what can happen if you do have orders just sitting out. DTW up again today on some crypto news, and then we get to, I don't even know what time it was. It was about 8:15, I guess. The Amazon news comes out with their EV plug-in charger available on Amazon, and this happened. So had an order sitting here short at that point. Yeah, I'm punching out nearly $1 higher. So just be aware if you are thinking about trading in the pre-market, this is what can happen. The levels I was looking at were 6 and then 590. So working into a short, that was my plan, versus 590 and 6. But that got blown way out of the sky as soon as that news came out. So this is going to be a loser for me. We did get very weak right away when the market did open, right away back below 6. Give you a quick short to the downside, but it is still showing a little underlying strength there. Watch out on DPW. Let's talk about CNET. The high from the pre-market was 330, so I just threw an order in front of that. just to see, and yeah, got hit up there at the open. So a nice short down to 270 for CNET, up again this morning. This one's been a mover over the past couple of days. EXPR, this was by far the weakest in the pre-market, was already kind of trending to the downside when I sat down. 175, 180, any kind of test up to that level would have gave you a great opportunity to get more. We're down to 125 for that one, guys. EXPR, back to you.
And OGen's at $1, and that's a bit embarrassing. I'll one-up you there, Brendan. I'm going to give you a quick little rule here. For me, if you would do something on like your max position size or half their max position size, you should do it on 1/10 as well. And I did not. I had DPW short. I had a stop originally at this 565 area, right above where the top end of this move was in the pre-market. Once I was able to take shares out, I was holding literally 1/10 of my actual max share size on the stock that I wanted today. So I said, you know what, I don't need a stop order. I'll just hold the rest. I don't want to get wicked out. And then this is what happens. I also got out $1 higher. And it's like, that's the whole thing. What makes good poker players great it's the same thing I think in trading as well, is you can treat the smallest position the same as the largest. A $1 bet is the same as $1 million, and they will still follow their rules and still play their hand and not tip and not give anything away when they do that. And it's a skill. I've seen Arun. I said this many times, guys. I've seen Arun when he's like in a massive position or taking a big hit or a big win, and you can't even tell. It's the same guy no matter what. OGen just got to $1. I actually just got some shares there at the even buck. Crossing down when it tried to break, and it held like an absolute champion. There was like a dark pool print that went off, like 99 and change. I got in at $1 exactly when that basically happened. I'm going to use this like 104, 105 as a bit of a breach point here. Obviously, I should probably still be short this from the top, or at least got some at 112, 113. But I went over the reasons why I got faked out of that trade, guys.
Yep. Okay. Yeah. And then that's the other thing we get. You got to. And then what you said there was very important. There, stick with your rules. We got out at that 66 break on plug, and now it's way up. So another missed opportunity for us. Like this happens to me all the time. We had a bad out on J&J, and then now we have a bad out on plug there off the 60. I mean, look, I'm going to take an 80-cent long win, but. Stupid me, should have had that one. Oh, so frustrating. What's up, Beep?
We talked about Taco Bell and Beyond Meat, guys. Almost 9% now. Just took out that high on volume, 135 right through to 136.5 for Beyond Meat. Having a nice day.
I actually wanted to get to Beyond Meat before we threw to you, and we forgot it. So thank you, Brendan, for bringing that up to our attention again.
I already hit that, sorry.
I mean, in the pre-market, thanks for the love. Someone mentioned in the pre-market that they were already up on some of that shout-out. I shouted this thing out as soon as it happened early, and it looks like people getting rewarded now as Beyond Meat, nice little move up, 8.5%. Watch out for a pullback back to 134 is where this guy will get involved.
Yeah, so, sorry, I already hit the yeehaw when I went to you there, because 68 just went unplugged, so the break at the high of the day takes me right to that $68 range. There's not a ton of size on the offer, but it's enough for me to want to get in, if I can, for a bit of a momentum play through 68, even if it breaks this here. It's not a huge offer, but I just like that even dollar range to see if we can play some momentum to the upside. I think going both directions makes sense. We had shorts originally, and now we're looking for a second long position if we can get it through an even dollar break on plug. 72 was the double top that Luis talked about and we were mentioning the other day as well. Not the other day, yesterday. So watch out if it goes any higher than this. 70 and 72 are big levels.
Yep, they sure are. And Beyond Meat still looking at that level there as well. Let's check back in on AMD, which was a nice win for us early, but then we did drop those shares. So the nice win comes off for us on AMD there. And now we're waiting for 91.20. I'm still looking at VWAP there. I don't want to ignore this name. That's why I bring it to your attention. I do like this. We just got to watch out for it because right now the NASDAQ's pulling back down. So AMD, the one to short if the NASDAQ falls. AMD's been very, very volatile lately, so do not sleep on some AMD money there if you need it. So watch out for a break of 90.70. I think that's a decent short there on AMD for me.
Yeah, it looks like a fail break on plug there. I got some shares out like right in like the 90s, but then the rest actually had to get out at 60. Look, obviously if it pulls back in, I'm going to like this chop zone that it had 66, 65 to like 66 even, but I'll stay away from that top end because usually a fail break like that, I'd be looking to short it. Because I was just looking on the bullish side after it took out 67.33. I'd like to see what it does on a pullback before actually getting into a short position.
Okay, right now Ford, we're just gonna let's get some more shares off here on Ford if we can. I haven't tweeted anything out today. Been too busy with all these positions, but right now we only have one left, so I think this is a good opportunity to do that because you could see this move to the upside right here on Ford, and we actually did post up right here our post-it note. A lot of you guys asking for that, so you could follow me at TraderTV Sean. The post-it note is here. 16 of you have already liked it. And if you swipe over, here's the actual trade itself on CGC. So the post-it note's up there on Instagram if you use Instagram. Also, if you use Twitter, follow us all there. It's about education. So, you know, if you want some and you want to look at some of the trades that we're talking about, that's not a horrible spot there. There is some size on Ford right now. So we're looking at that to see if we can take that out. I'm offering some 18s, but right now debating just getting some out 17. Like we have a 15-cent winner. That was a good idea there, breaking through 10. I love the 950 break, so of course we love the 10 break as well. We got to get out though. It's coming down. The size following it down, guys.
Yeah, and before we go to Brendan, just to remind everybody that Petco, that IPO, is still looming large later on in the session. There's no indication as to when it's going to open. When it does, we'll get right to it. Brendan, what's up?
My daily chart just froze. So I'll just go ahead and maximize this. I'll show you this. ACTC, 13.5%. This is that Proterra SPAC. Remember we talked about this going back a couple of days. This is actually another Chamath. Anyone who's familiar with Social Capital, this is another Chamath-backed SPAC. Proterra makes EV buses, city buses, guys.
Well, I like city. That's actually not a bad idea there. Someone just mentioned Affirm, and yeah, another time off of 110. This time, actually it's the second time, it actually breaks through and is trying to slam back down. It's looking a little bullish here, holding VWAP, potentially going to break out. I'm going to look for, I want it to trade above 110. I want to see it catch a bid before I do anything. I just got in and out of OGen. I mean, I got psyched out of a 103, 103 short at 105. I'm going to start back in at 105, but I'm looking for now 111. Just play some momentum. If we get outside of this 110 range, hold a bid, and can break 111, that's the next trade I'll put on in Affirm, or maybe just have to wait down for VWAP to catch a bit of a bid.
Okay, so we did get some out there. Look at this drop. We noticed the size on Ford, and we did talk with Lewis before about level 2 readings. So yeah, like I read charts, I read level 2s as well, obviously. You saw that size hitting it there at 18, and then it started following it down. So we took some out right away at 15. Now we get some out at 14. They broke the size. The size now on the bid. I think Ford can probably be hit for a long, but it's probably overextended here today. Ford up that 3.5%. Let's just wait to see. We know the F-150 is coming electric, and that's going to be a big one. That's why, guys, on the daily chart, if you were following us a while, and if you're just following us now, great. But I like to make some long-term calls. We're long Ford right here. 653 or something like that, 673 here on Ford. We'll double check later. But that's a nice little move upside. We knew that there was some space coming with the electric vehicles. We saw NIO, which we haven't even looked at today. I got to go back over to NIO. Unbelievable that we haven't. 704, 705 was the in, and now you're breaking out to these levels, and I think we're getting awfully close, man. That 1050-ish spot, watch out for that break. Then you may see a monster position by yours truly come on board there when 1050 breaks on Ford, but that's not happening yet.
DoorDash again, 200 break, and then look what just happened like minutes ago through like 1024. This stock has been on just an unbelievable run here. It just went parabolic before slamming back down a little bit to 218, a fresh high. This stock got beaten up, and I'm sorry, I want to kick myself over that 140 level that was just so painfully obvious that someone was buying it up at 140 and would not let it hang below that price. And you'll see what happens. The second it broke away from that price, it just got absolutely insane. At some point, I'm going to look for a short here. I don't even know if it's going to be today, but there is going to be one in DoorDash rather soon because it just made a move bottom top off that level. Essentially, a 50% move would give you that 210 where the last breakout happened. So maybe below 210 makes some sense to me. Brendan, what's up?
Just double checking on this. Woof, still not even an indication, guys. So Woof taking its time so far to get going on that IPO so far today. It's 10:30. Valeria's watching what's going on over in Europe. What's up, V?
Hey, Brandon, European shares are mostly in a positive territory on the US stimulus hopes. Carrefour trading in Paris is down almost 3% after French Labour Minister voiced opposition to a proposed takeover by Canada's Couche-Tard. Back to you.
Yeah, big mover past couple of days over in Europe, that Carrefour, guys.
Yeah, I mean, Canadian content. Sorry, I just got back into that OGen. I said I got out when it broke 105. I got back into it at essentially the same price when it failed at VWAP. Scalping it in front of a buck because, well, you guys know I'm going to go short when $1 breaks. I'll try the exact same thing that didn't necessarily work before, but I got in too early. I got hit when it didn't really break the level, so I'm going to try to avoid that same mistake this time when OGen goes. I like it anytime you get $1 even break. I want to try to get flat first. I only have half out. The rest of my bid is at 101, just to see if I can scalp from 105 to 101. Plug power just turned, and I did mention it was a bit of a failed break. Maybe I should have gone to the short side here when it consolidated at 67.60, but I was looking over at OGen and a couple of other names at that time, and then a firm got brought to my attention. If it does pull back any further, watch out for VWAP. I might look to buy Plug in front of 66.
Okay, yeah, Plug came all the way back. Wow, good one there. And again, we just talked about some tape reading abilities. I think I gotta get some water here. My throat's getting to that point. But yeah, Hydration Nation, stay hydrated with us. I won't sip it now because I'm going to talk. But we did notice some trouble on Ford. So ding, 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 all the way out. Now we hold like 5% left of our Ford position, but we do like it still. It's not that it's not on my radar. It's just we noticed size bringing this thing down. So Ford just continues to go down, downside there. I put my Instagram and my Twitter in the chat. If you guys want to follow me, please do that. I know that there's a lot of messages I need to get to. It's just been a busy one, so I will attempt to answer everything for everybody, and that's what we do here, guys. So get a hold of Neil, myself, or Brendan on our social medias. It's hard to see everything in the chat. Oh, we did get a super chat before, SHMP, for that $100. It's right here. I am going to look at that very, very soon, Brendan. If there's any news on this name, I believe it's a pink sheet name. So SHMP here on the pink sheets. Yes, it is. It's a 45 cent stock. We talked about this a couple days ago. Look, I understand we're not going to come on the show and just start pumping stocks for people, but at the same time, that was a nice little super chat there of $100, and I just want to look at it for you. I think you brought it to everyone's attention back here, 35.36. So it is working. So that's another reason. Look, if this stock was left for dead, maybe we wouldn't talk about it. But again, do your own research. But SHMP, thank you so much for that super chat. We'll see what happens with this stock, but obviously you guys know that I like even levels. You can look at some size here on the pink sheets. There's not a whole hell of a lot, but if you're long this name, I mean, you could get out at 40. I don't know, 4.43 million shares. Do your own work, but thank you to Arky Scan for bringing that to our attention.
Yeah, and this other one to my attention now. I saw someone putting in DTSS. I didn't catch them. I'm sorry. It was very, very quickly there. I'm going to check to see. I just saw a 5G related play up 100%. It's on the radar for me, but OGen just broke, and I just got a 99.5 short when $1 broke, and it's going to be. I'm not going to be managing both these at the same time. It still looks like it's gaining in terms of volume, which is not the best, even though it's pulling back to a $5 level. So I'm watching DTSS. It's the best I can tell you. There's no levels to watch now that it broke that 450. So if it gets back below that price, maybe it's worth selling a little bit here. I have to also check to see how much it's going to cost us to short that name because it's not free apparently.
Oh, no? Okay. I mean, things have been very, 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 very cheap for us to short.
Stupid cheap.
Including, yeah, so if you're interested in getting more shortable shares and you're not in the U.S., you can...
It's a third of a cent.
Yeah, exactly. At Day Trade the World there, where we do have great locates and work with good brokers and whatnot. Watch out for this. Here comes GameStop. It's so stupid because these were my shorts initially. And unfortunately, it took out that VWAP there, and then it went the other way for us. So that kind of sucks. But GameStop right here, we can look back yesterday just to see what was happening at these levels. This is why we liked this short initially right here, in between 34 and 35. It's clear as day right there for a short. After that, I'm not sure. I think the next opportunity is through 32.50, so we still got a little ways to go. But I do like a short through 32.50 on this name, guys.
Yeah, and just gonna throw some orders out here. So in the event that things go absolutely crazy on OGen, I get some more shares. And I took some out initially for like a quick 2-cent scalp. That first 10 cents, I'm gonna have orders all the way through that range, so you average like a 5-cent winner. I think this is a type of trade where if it levels off, similar to ZOM yesterday at 103 and not 105, that was good for a reload. It was certainly a good price. I just said under my breath, I don't know if you heard this, that DTSS, less than a third of a cent per share is what it costs. Why not just give it to us for free to be able to short? No, I'm all kidding aside, very, very cheap. So I do have the locates there. NNDM, I do believe we mentioned this one, and I just got into a firm on that 111 break. I believe we mentioned this one as the offering. very well received. I know it's down 11%, but it's actually been finding a nice little bottom here and bouncing to the upside. So watch out for this one in the afternoon. Anytime you see a share offering that the market seems not too disturbed by, and then buying comes in after the open, it can be a good positive sign for the stock. So just watch that on NNDM.
Oh, yeah. There was a lot of talk about NNDM. I just got a note there that Bitcoin, I guess, just breached. Thanks, Greg, for that note. It just breached again 40. The all-time high on Bitcoin is 42, I think, thousand. Brendan, I guess, can confirm that as well as Greg, if you're listening. But 42,000 there. I just don't know enough. I guess I can just go right here. I'll confirm it my damn self. It's 42. They have it at 41,989 here. So 41,989. The high on crypto for Bitcoin. So the 1 minute chart's got this thing going a little bit, but here's the pullback. It's done that before, Neil. We've seen this. It hits 40, then it can drop to 38, 37, 36, something like that. I don't know if that's what's going to happen, but watch out for Bitcoin. Congratulations to anybody that's long here. I did sell a little bit of my position on the weekend just to raise some capital, and then hopefully it gets lower, but I did not buy back. So pie on my face again. I'd like to be a holder of this. I'm still holding it from like 2017, 2018. So finally made that money back as we get back to all-time highs. So I got to change my script there a little bit on my Instagram and Facebook and Twitter. Sorry, not Facebook. Guess I'm not a crypto bag holder anymore because we are getting out on profit time right now. What's up, Mr. Wicked?
I just saw this one popping back up. Snowflake, guys, back above 304. No, don't know why I had an alert there. 304, but 300, obviously the bigger level down there that did hold in the pre-market. They did a deal with this Alteryx, data processing deal with Alteryx. So Alteryx teaming up with Snowflake, but not a huge move, guys, for Snow.
Let it snow, for sure. I just got a couple of legs out there on OGen down to like 95, so it's still giving that little slide down. I hit a couple of shorts on the way. Nothing as good as the 125, but the one even breaking news one I was going to have for sure. We talked about this LXRX a little bit earlier, and I didn't really have an obvious level. This is now broken down off of $6, so I guess the even dollar would have done, and would have sufficed. Below this this 520, not 420, 520. I'll be looking to short this break here. There was a nice little pullback on LXRX below VWAP. All signs point to me liking the short here on LXRX through 525. I want to see a firm hold VWAP here. If it can't, I'm going to have to cover that trade. We did okay on the first long, guys, but you don't want to give too much back. Ultimately, if it does break VWAP, we'll be back to negative on the stock, which is how I started the day, got to positive. So a bit of a yo-yo action for me on a firm. So 520 on LXRX. I'm only taking it short on a break of that level. It's 1040. Wow. Time for the sector watch. Let's go to Brendan at the big screen.
Hey guys, yeah, let's have a look at the S&P 500, see what's in charge so far today. A lot of green on this board, or blue, I guess, but green overall, 0.2 for the market itself. Energy stocks we've been talking about since the open this morning, really strong. MRO, Oxy, Apache, Devon, Fang, HFC, all 2 to 8%. MRO still leading, 8.2% for energy stocks. They're very strong. Oil still up about 1.5% on the day as well. SPG, there was news on that one today, 3.5%. Some of the consumer discretionary shares we've been talking about having a nice day though, but all the cruise lines are here, NCLH, RCL, and CCL, all up about 4.5 to 6.5%. More vaccine positivity, so that means that travel names are going to be strong on the day. Etsy back to the upside again today, 6%. L Brands right below it, 3% for consumer discretionary stocks. Banks are strong. We have tech shares back to the upside as well. Semiconductors are leading the way, but have a look at the hardware equipment makers, 2% to 3.5% for some of these. So these two groups kind of offsetting some of the weakness from the software names. NLOC and MA down about 1.5% each. Industrial shares, here's all the airlines, ALK, UAL, AAL, and Dow. FedEx is here, Love as well, and UPS, all 1.5 to 5%. So travel names leading the way for the industrial group. NOC over there, 2.5% to the upside as well. Otherwise, I mean, pretty quiet as far as negativity. You want to look at software names, utilities, consumer staple stocks, material stocks as well, a little bit red on the day. But overall, the market is up 0.25%. Guys, back to you.
Thank you very much, Brendan. I'm still watching at DTSS. I don't really have any obvious levels, and I said this before, so I'm just looking for what looks like a fantastic turn-off in obvious even dollar range, or if it gets to like a 750, that would also make sense. We talk about having rules, and I know you want to talk about this with this man on Friday. Sean, Mr. O'Leary, Mr. Wonderful himself, will be appearing on the show. We'll talk about maybe some of his thoughts with regards to the market. Of course, there will be a lot to discuss. Maybe talk a little crypto as well, but also talk about day trading in general and how you better have a plan, something that we believe in, certainly. So I think it's going to be a lot of fun to have him back on. It will not be his, it's not his first time on the show. He's definitely been on a couple of times. We have a lot of fun each time that happens. I want to come back to DoorDash if I can. I did mention that 210 is a bit of a psychological level because of the 140 bottom that it had, and that's a 50% sort of return. It crashed through that bid. It tried to bounce once, it broke it, tried to bounce off it, and then the second time it just crashed right through. So throw that one away and maybe look at a 205 handle on DoorDash to see if that'll hold. Not much of a bid there to be had. Affirm just came back to the upside, so it looks like, and I was going to say VWAP, but then we talk about this tape reading, Sean. We talked about with Lewis, 109 instead of 107. What ends up happening, it goes down to this 109 where there was a bit of chop before. It tests below, no offer follows it. I'm like, okay, boom, take some more shares in here to get a better price. And now I have like a 110.50, and suddenly my stop becomes below this 109 area and not VWAP, because that's where I sense that the next, island of liquidity, hopping island of liquidity like there is going to be between 109 and that VWAP. So, why actually wait until 107 to get out? So I'll take some profit for $1 in the overall position, changing the plan a little bit there. So I got to cancel this order. Next level will be like a 112.50 for a couple of bucks. Then we'll see if it tests that high of day on Affirm. But the stop is now tighter below 109. Brendan, what's up?
Okay,
Nope.
I'll take it. Ford right now, 10.09, 10.08 right now. So we just did take a little bit out. That's showing as a short because I had an offer out on the high side. So I actually got to cancel that. We have to wait to see on that one. 10.01, 10.10 or so on that. So we're going to wait to see what does come through on that front as far as Ford is concerned. But that's the only position that I have on. So we got to look to make a new one here. GameStop 34. It's trying to break. That was some key levels there. I still think we could break, but we have to watch out. I said 32.50 was more the area that I was concerned about, and I think that we could definitely look at that one. 32.50 there on GameStop, something to look at. So we'll see if that can come through. I did want to look back at Alibaba if that's moving. Plug Power as well. Tesla up to 860. Holy crap! We talked about that as well. Let's go Tesla again. I know Neil had that trade today, but. This 820, this is where we put the bids downside. We didn't even come anywhere close to that, man. We were a little too not aggressive enough. 839 was the bottom there on Tesla. I was at 827 or something. That was a joke. What's up, B?
Just saw a positive note on your BFT, Sean. PaySafe. It's not really doing anything. Actually, down a bit on the day. They're just talking about the growth in sports betting set to pay off for companies like this. So PaySafe, or BFT going to be PaySafe. So they're just talking about, again, online sports betting going to pay off eventually for this one, guys.
You better believe it will. We talked about downstream plays. You know what? Penn actually struggling, in my personal opinion. Well, it actually is struggling. But you just mentioned games over there. Let's do this one. Have a little bit of fun because it's one of my favorite new graphics. But I try to hold off until it's worthy of doing the power up and Affirm. We talked about tape reading with Luis, our guest, this morning, and I just gave you a look at what transpired at 109 to have me take this position and get into more shares here, and then work this a little bit differently. It just gave me that about 113, it's like 112.66 or so like a $2 win there, and I'm still hanging on to see if we break the top. My stop is still going to be beneath that 109. And then if it breaks the high of the day, I don't have a level up there, guys. It could be 120, it could be 125. Who knows with Affirm? And usually Sean does this, and I gotta point out to you guys, we were just about like 9,000 people I saw watching, maybe a little bit more than that, and we're shy of that 3,000 marks. I'm a big baseball guy. We talk about Mr. 3,000, we usually hit it. That used to be a slam dunk by 11 o'clock, and I don't know, man. Like today, Ford, I bungled and missed the heck out of that trade. Sean crushed it 2 days in a row. Affirm has been a good trade today. There's a lot that we've been watching that I think there's a lot to learn. In OGen, I talked about getting wiggled out of a trade when I had the top on that one and some good shorts and what I've learned from that real time. So if you guys like what's going on here, hit that like and subscribe. Not for us. Do it for Miss V. Please, if you do anything, do it for Valeria because she's absolutely wonderful and it puts a smile on her face. Trust me, guys, when I tell you, she gets very, very excited. It's not just dancing in the graphics, man. She dances herself over here.
Yeah, maybe we'll get Valeria to dance live on the show one day. No, I don't think she wants to do that. We've already discussed that. We've already discussed that. Yeah, now she's giving me the evil eye there. So
she's done it before.
Oh, has she? Okay. All right. So we'll see. Yeah. So that Tesla trade there, the high 863. Let's just see what that does. I don't know. A lot of people asking about NNDM here. I know we reviewed this a little bit yesterday or today, a little bit, anyways. NNDM today. Coming back down there. Even the fire alarm likes the likes there.
So Sean, I shouldn't say this aloud because the fire alarm just went off, but like remember back at the old office, we were on the 9th floor, and essentially what would happen if traders were in position and the fire alarm went off, you'd send someone down to see if it was real because nobody wanted to leave their trades.
I was the fire marshal.
Yeah, exactly. I was going to say, Sean was the fire marshal, so he had to go
like Fire Marshal Bill, if you guys know who Fire Marshal Bill is. Look up Fire Marshal Bill. That's who I was. I was the fire marshal for the whole 9th floor. I don't know. I mean, I guess I just got nominated because of my great looks, but it can't be anything else other than that because that was a mistake. But yeah, we used to not evacuate, let's put it that way, because like I'm going to leave my positions. I need to see smoke in the building there. So Fire Marshal Bill, big shout out to that. Canadian in living color. Check it out. You might have heard of the gentleman before. His name is Jim Carrey. So you can check that out. Fire Marshal Bill. In living color, one of the best shows. I know we're showing our age.
If I could do the impression, I would do it, but it is one. Just honestly, after the show, just have a quick look. It's hilarious. But Fire Marshal Bill, I think it's his best character of all time, in my opinion. There it goes again. Sorry, I'm going to go to OGen, guys. It's getting hot over here.
I feel like I need to go somewhere.
It's actually getting hot in here, but it's not because of the fire. OGen is on fire to the downside. I talked about this dollar break on ZOM. If you didn't have it yesterday, you got the same opportunity on OGen. I just got shares out on the way down to 9, so 90 cents, just like we did before. 80% of the position is going to be out in that case. To the upside actually goes Affirm. So affirmative there, I was able to get 102, that's 66. It's consolidating at this price here, guys. So I'm going to hit same stop. I'm not going to move my stop. I'm not going to trail it. I'm holding for a top break, the last of these Affirm shares. I've used trailing stops on these momentum plays, and every single time I look back, and it's a mistake. So all the way to break even, or sorry, not break even, but my original stop point below that 109 liquidity point.
Yeah. Yeah, so there we go. Again, I'm not going to go anywhere. We're just joking about that. But the fire alarm still ringing. So we'll see on that one. Oh, I want to go back over to GameStop. There was some talk about GameStop there making some moves higher. I thought 36 might be something that we could have a quick look at. But what's up, Beep?
No one told you guys there's a new fire alarm indicator that we're starting today. But yeah, usually we get a warning for these things, but not today. So bear with us, guys. We apologize. ASX here, another semiconductor name having quite the day, up almost 7%. Just had a volume alert go off at day high, 760 now for ASX.
Wowzers for that one. And yeah, this is actually getting a little bit hilarious. That DTSS, another test to top. This is a bit of a double top. So I did say $6. I know I did. Wait for an even level, but a double top and then a failure on the break at 570 is maybe going to be good enough. So I'm going to take this one, but much like GameStop, if I don't have the perfect entry or the stock is very, very bullish, what is that? Is that fake size trying to, you know what, I'm canceling. So anyways, I just saw like layered orders going downside there. So it was like basically saw the same pattern of share size on the offer, taking it down on that DTSS. For me, that just looked like someone was messing around. So I'm going to go ahead and pull. But on GameStop, if it was against the momentum too hard or if it wasn't the perfect entry, I'd rather take it off consolidation lower and then have a tight stop, not giving it to the high of day. So I was going to get in at about a 535 to 540 and give it to 550, not high of day. But when I see someone messing around on stock like that in level 2, I'd rather just stay away from it than guess at what is actually going to happen next.
Yeah, exactly. We don't, I mean, guys, honestly, like, just stay away. Like, if you notice something, and that's the sniff test, right? Like, all the time we do stuff like that. You got to make sure that you're testing out, you know, is this a valid order? Is this a valid order type? Like, what's happening there? And that's what we saw in Ford, right? I mean, let's be perfectly honest. We're out of Ford now. And we noticed that up here at 1018. Ding, ding, ding. That's why we got out. It's showing me long. I still have 5% of it. And I'm just going to get out now. I might as well get out at 04, take a 2-cent win on the rest. But Ford is my #1 stock today. So hopefully Neil talked about that. And hopefully the likes got ramped up there for some of those trades. This was a big one through $10. Pretty easy, too, if you guys had that. And again, depending on the shares you want to take, you can adjust your own targets on the upside there for Ford as that continues to go higher here. Let's wait to see what it does at 10. This may be a decent spot to pick some up, though, but we did break VWAP back to the downside. Ford getting hit a bit here. I think there's worth taking it. Okay, time to throw over to Brendan over at the big screen. Our favorite segment. Let's see what's talking money-wise.
Going to talk cryptos mainly once again today, guys. A little bit of a move, to say the least, in Bitcoin. Yeah, Sean nailed it earlier. 41,900 and change up there was that wick. So did try to tag 42,000. We're back to 40, but pulling in right now for Bitcoin. But you can see 39,600, 6.25% to the upside. Ethereum 7% here today, 1,200 again for Ethereum. But yeah, Ripple struggling again today, 3.5% to the downside. Everything else kind of choppy so far. The euro, we have the euro in negative territory, I should say. Canadian dollar back to the upside, 0.37%. You can see these two back in positive territory. Australia, New Zealand as well, trade one and the same typically. Higher. Turkey to the downside. Pretty choppy day overall for cryptos. Guys, back over to you.
It's fine. Yeah, I was just telling these guys, look, guys, I'm the fire marshal. You don't worry about the alarm there, Rob and Michael. I will handle everything as it goes. And look, guys, we do apologize if you do hear that. Like, we can't take off fire alarms, right? I mean, we're in a building. So if it does keep going off, we do apologize for that. Normally, we have a relationship with the building where it's kind of like, hey, don't blast this during trading, not trading hours, during show hours. But okay, I was just looking at Ford here, and honestly, I'm wondering if we are in for a little bit of a bump back to the high side now. But I just, you know, could we retest 10? I don't know. We're looking to break VWAP again. We'll take a small tester, long 5, I think, anyways. But you know what? Nah, I'm going to hold off on that. Right now, I'm flat. I don't have much to talk about with as far as positions go. We are needing to find some more positions for you guys, though. Let's check back on Palantir. Palantir's been a popular name for us on the show. Look, everyone always asks me about Palantir, and honestly, like right now, it was a great call. I'm happy to have made it back at $10, but we're not doing anything right now. I mean, yesterday we did have some big trades early on in the morning yesterday before it fall down to this 25 level. Now we're bouncing around. I mean, I'd love to do some more analysis with you on Palantir, but I mean, we need it to break upside here, about 50 cents away, 25.40 before we do anything. Those are yesterday's bottoms on Palantir. So I think if that breaks, we could do something. But other than that, man, I don't really see too much here with Palantir. I can go over the daily chart as well for you on. Nope, that's a 1-minute chart. Here's the daily, and this is what I'm talking about. I'm still think a buy spot
I thought that was
would be about $23, guys. Rob, it's not even a big deal. Like, I don't know why we're worried about this.
I'm more excited about a firm breaking 115 here, guys. So there was this 114.25 top. I'm gonna. Look, again, I don't have any levels here. If it gets to 120, I'll definitely be out for sure. But I'm just going to play this by ear. I have level 2 up. I'm going to be watching to show a big sign of weakness or the bid stop following this to the upside, the volume taper off a little bit. So I'm going to be trying to rely on tape reading for this to see if we catch a bit of a turn, or it's simply going to be that 120 level on a firm, guys. We're long here. At my last entry was 109.65. I gave you the reasons why on the tape. It looked like a dip buy there at that price instead of VWAP. Hopefully you guys were paying attention there. We try to let you know what we're seeing here so you can take advantage of these trades. This one is a good one. I'm going to do a quick little backflip and then throw it over to Mr. Wickens. Brennan, what's up, buddy?
I got the first indication here. I was just going to bring Wolf up. They're talking 23.50 so far for this WOOF. Remember, priced at 18, so only 23.50 at this point, guys.
so I was going to look for the tape here. It got to the 118, and then I saw like a lot of dark pool prints going off in like the 86 to 87 range. I took advantage of that liquidity to get out because the bid dropped. Like there were no buyers. It dropped to like a 117.35, and then to a 117, and there was still some prints that you could be had up there at the top. So no bid following. Still some people hitting the offer. Yeah, that's good enough for me for a turn. That's what I'm talking about here, guys. Where if I put a trailing stop on this stock, when it makes this move here and I get it at 113, I'm usually putting, I'll go to like this level here at 111.60, and then I'm getting out, and it's like, oh yeah, I still made a buck on the last of those shares. Okay, so how many times live on the show has that happened to me? I don't know. In the last year, I'd say probably 20 or 30, maybe even more than that. It's at least 2 dozen for sure. This time, change the plan. Keep the level down at 109 where I know there's going to be that liquidity point. Hang on for the bigger win. Read the tape for a bit of a turn price here. That's how you try to improve. Take your weakness, try to turn it into a bit of a strength. I'm going to go back to OGen if I can for a quick little second there, because as much as I would love to celebrate an $8 winner for the rest of the day, there's no point doing it. We're back to 97 here. Not a buck on OGen, but this 97 level, there's a bit of a double top. I'm looking to see if I can catch any size on the offer to load back into some shares on OGen to the short side. Haven't seen much yet. It's very, very thin on the level 2, guys. So not a lot to work off of an OGen until you get to a buck. Brendan, with
I saw some people talking about this one. Palantir, 2% downside. Citigroup with a downgrade today and a price target cut for Palantir. So not a huge move, 2%, but we're still well within significant ranges on the daily chart for Palantir, guys.
My mic on, so.
Oh yeah, we got some new mics here, and it's a bit of a different procedure for us to get in and out of it. I'm gonna go to NNDM for a second because I said it was being well received, that offering. So watch out for it trying to hold that 10 level. It is coming back after a failed break at 10.50. So if it does not hold that, you can probably take everything I said back, especially if 10 even doesn't hold. It was a good ramp up, but the volume really starting to taper off after it made a nice push. Couldn't hold above that 10% down on NNDM.
So we were just talking about Palantir, and then Brendan came with that Citigroup downgrade there. So I didn't want to check back. Is there an indicated open price on Woof? Maybe, Brendan. I think it was coming at like 14 to 18 or something on our
19,
note. We will find out an indicated price. I'm crossed up to $50. I have no idea if it's through that or not. What's up, Brendan?
Yeah, Sean, you stepped away for a second there. We just mentioned it, actually. 23.50 looks like for now for Wolf, guys.
Okay, good. So then I'm still good on that one. I did step away there to get a little bit of a water there. My throat's feeling a bit sore here from all this discussion. So I did want to take a ibuprofen. No plugs there. STIC is going to be BarkBox, not doing anything. I thought maybe today. It's good. We've been buying this when we bought some up the other day there. And BarkBox now, though, look at this big move up off the open. And I think that's obviously to do with Woof. So we'll wait to see here again at the valuation that Woof comes out at. It looks like it's going to be well above the valuation, maybe double. You're saying 23. So let's see where it comes out. But STIC, what a big move off the open. That's the problem when you're trading here. I can't get in and out of my positions as we sit here and talk about them. Mara, I think I tweeted this one out the other day when I bought it at 21.50 down here on this offering. It was right here in the pre-market, 21.50. I thought that was a steal, and I hope that someone joined me in buying some Mara because you're upside right now. Obviously, Bitcoin breaks 40,000, so Mara goes upside, but they had a share offering. Congratulations to anyone that bought that because right now Mara cruising 25.21, but you don't trade this without looking at Bitcoin. So if Bitcoin can break through 40 grand again, look out for upside. It looks like Bitcoin right now 39.5. So we called that pullback. I called the more dramatic pullback, but that's a couple times in a row. It's come to 40 before dropping back down. This time it holds. Watch out for a 39.6 break, it looks like here on Bitcoin. Should be legit. European update. Valeri's at the big screen. Let's go.
Hey guys, European shares are mostly in a positive territory on the US stimulus hopes and export growth in China. Italy is down 0.09%, Britain is up 0.65%, Germany is up 0.41%, and France is up 0.32%. Renault trading in Paris is in negative territory after pledged more cuts and to focus on smaller number of profitable models. Back to the traders.
Thank you very much, Ms. V. Just have a quick look. I mean, I canceled this this DTSS order to step away and go to the bathroom because I don't want to get filled when I'm away. We broke this 520 mark, and now we're sort of hovering at the next sort of stage here, that 460 to 520. If we get consolidation here, it might be worth a look. But once you've missed the first trade, no need to force it. I did get the 520 break on LXRX. I can tell you that. It just gave me 18s here when it broke downside, so we're now below VWAP and in this little chop range. It's going to be a tighter stop. It's lunchtime here, guys, so you don't swing. Well, it's close to lunchtime. You don't swing necessarily as wide of a range. Give it to like a 545, 550 area. I have a level 2 up as opposed to just sort of putting a random stop in. I'd rather trade this manually. Given the fact it's done 21 million shares and liquidity is pretty good, and this time of day where I'm not managing as many positions, I'd rather do that than go with a hard stop order. So new position alert, LXRX, this level here. I waited for it to pull back in. I know I missed 6 even, but 520 broke. I got 18 to the short side. VWAP area is going to be my out.
Like, I can't wait till I can actually trade crypto on the show. Like, look at this. I talked about take the long through 39.6, $100 there. Off that long. So we talk about going long 39.6. It just breaks through there. I mean, the liquidity on Bitcoin is great, so you would have been able to grab some, I would assume. And then there it is, smooth hundy right there. I don't know if that's any good. I've never really scalped through BTC myself, so maybe $100 is not good enough, and there's not enough liquidity there to take that. So I don't know, but that was a good look there. I want to check back on GameStop. I mean, we've been light on that stock today. I thought we maybe would be trading this a little bit heavier, but again, we trade what we see, right? And I mean, and this is choppy. Like, not only, again, I'm down on it. It's fine. It's a big day. But GameStop we're down on today, considering we took an $11 winner yesterday. Like, there's not even an opportunity here really for a $2 winner. I mean, if you got the very bottom here, 33.80, you're now able to get out at VWAP for this kind of a win. You know what? This might be worth it. I may try this again on a VWAP break, but I think it has to be 36 even. So let's try one more time, see if this can get squeezed up at 36 even. If there's any update on the short percentage on GameStop from yesterday, I don't know if Icon updates it daily or not, but 36 break. Let's try one more time on GME, guys.
And just alert, I'm getting back into some position on OGen. It goes back to a buck again. Remember that 103 to 105? That's going to be the level. So I know I like $1 usually. Speaking of that, ZOM is right at a buck again, testing the offer. It's trying to turn. I'm going to try and play this one here, guys. It just went to a buck even, and I just on the way back down got 99 short. So there was a reason I was leading in by saying $1 because both of these stocks simultaneously at a buck, which is not necessarily ideal, but I can't choose when things are going to happen, and I am looking at both. I'm going to probably have to play lighter on OGen because ZOM is on the move once again. I'm going to assume this time it's not bumping up because of Tiger Lady or whatever her name is. Brendan.
Big spike here, guys, for Wayfair. 13%. Just went from 340 to 350 there. Just double checking. You can see huge volume coming in on this as well. This is all-time highs, so it might just be at all-time highs, but just double check on Wayfair here, making moves.
Yeah, so that was, I think, $10 in March or even lower. Okay. We're going to get long NEO finally for the first time on this break. Upside. Looks like we made a bottom here, 61, 60, 90, something like that. We could take a risk here of 50 cents or so if we get long. I like this little breakout here. It's a consolidation break. So we'll go long if it breaks through 40, which is right now happening. Hopefully, there it is right there. Again, I don't know if that's you guys pushing that up or not, but there's the break right there. As soon as I mention it, it goes through. So let's just wait to see. If you didn't buy more. Let's just wait to see NEO. It's been down today. We sniffed out some shorts last week, earlier on this week on NEO. I just wasn't super strong with it. Now it goes to the high side, a little bit of a win right now. Let's take some off before 50.
Yeah, so I was trying to get some more shares short on the ZOM. It did hold a buck. It's only like a couple of pennies down. Ignore this wick. It never got to 96. If it had gone down here, I most certainly would have taken some shares off. That's how I can tell you for sure it didn't print. It's only gone a couple of cents. It's still trying to get that fall. I love that dollar range, but you also have to be wary. You want to scalp this off. If it breaks a buck, there's likely to be some momentum to the upside. Just to give you an idea of the higher time frame look. On that dollar range break, and one of the reasons I want to get out There's likely going to be a retest to that 105. This is the flush I had. I didn't short a buck yesterday. I shorted 103 when this level broke at 105. So even if a buck goes, I'm looking to jump back in if 105 fails and then just take it all over again. For now, I've got 99 short. Ideally, it would be like 99.5 or 99.8, but beggars can't be choosers here. But I got to watch this level too because it keeps retesting this high, and I don't want this level to break without me. And there goes OGen. So. I mean, I have OGen as well at 99.5, and that just broke $1 again. I would normally be adding to it, but both at the same time, not going to happen.
Yeah, and you talk about that all the time as well, Neil, about having the right amount of shares in the right position and whatnot, and don't get into too many too often. And you don't want to have like too many of the same kind of trade on board at once. But here we go. We're doing it right now on NEO. So a big trade alert happening for me right here on NEO, and another big trade alert happening for me on GameStop. We go long, and now like what a day this has been, man. What a month. What a last quarter it's been for me as well. This just keeps on ripping to the high side, guys. Look at NEO. What a Again, it's not whatever. You guys make whatever calls you want. But look at this trade, guys. 61.40. Sniper alert on this one. Punch that one right out right now on NIO, as it looks like that's going to be a winner no matter what for me here. 61.60. We just took some out there high side. 61.65. Big win for me on NEO, guys. Look at this trade. 20 cents in the money right there. NEO rocketing up my board. We did it again.
Yeah, so I just got out when one broke on Zom, but I'll tell you, it went like nowhere, and then looks like it might try to come right back. I wanted this to test 105, like I just mentioned, so I'm holding off. Even if it takes a buck back in, I wouldn't go full size on a short at like 99.5 again. I'd rather it test a little bit higher, squeeze a few more people out that maybe haven't covered their short just now, and then see if you can't get the failure at the better price on that higher time frame. And again, that's at 105. That has afforded me the opportunity, though, to maybe get a few more shares of OGen, because that seems like it's going to fail rather nicely again through that $1. So I don't want to have both loaded up at the same time. I would love to see Zom test even higher. If it breaks 105, hands off till $1.20. I don't love the long break. We talked about having a bias overall and helping you sometimes to trade. And I do have a bias to the south side on ZOM, so I'm going to stick with that and only wait for the short opportunities. It'll be 105, and then that breaks 120 and nothing else for me.
So good couple outs there on NEO high side there. So we'll watch. Good break, good out. Again, the momentum is just not as intense on NEO to the long side. Obviously, I don't need to tell you guys that as you've been trading this with us for a while now. NEO can go crazy on days, and it just doesn't look like today's going to be one of those days. 61, 60, 61 cent, like our best out there, 64. That's basically as high as it went. So that's a 24 cent win on that one because we're long here on that 40 break. So it just touches 60 again. I think it's just worth maybe just getting out of the majority of these shares soon. As there it goes, a nice little bounce back to the high side again on NEO. Let's talk about maybe dumping some of these stocks as it's just bouncing, or some of these shares as it's just bouncing around here. Let's see. I was going to give it back to 61.20 right here, this break, but that was a nice move. So we are out of half of our NEO position for a decent 30-cent win. Sorry, 24-cent win at the highest.
Yeah, and going to start covering some shares if I can on OGen here. Just got my orders locked and loaded, ready to go. Here's that test of a buck. Get some on the way up. It broke just by a little bit. Got some more shares on the way down to like 99.7 or so. 105 is on the offer in Zom, so I am watching this at the same time. If it breaks, hands off. If it holds, I'll look to see if I can't get in again to the short. But this looks very, very strong. So I don't want to force the hand here. It just broke down downside again. I'll look to take these 104s if I can, but it still looks a little bit strong.
So still no update on Woof, I guess, as we'll wait for that one. I still have a bunch of shares ready to go for that. So GameStop does break 36. We take out 36.35 there. So that was a 30-cent win. I was like, oh my God, everything seems to be working out. Shouldn't have said that because now it's coming to the downside again. So we tried to get positive there once again on GameStop, but it just fades out. I'm not going to hold this one too far, guys. Probably to about here, 34.59 or so. We can try to lose about $1.50 on this if it happens. It happens, but that's going to be my out, 34.50 or so. We could give it all the way down here if you really wanted to, but I'm just going to give it to this level and then a little bit lower. So 34.50 break on GameStop is where I'm going to be looking at.
Yeah, this is still looking a little bit strong here, so I'm going to size down on 104 if I can even get it. I mean, like it's printing here, but it's like a lot of dark pool prints, so you can adjust your gateway to try to pay to get in, which I ended up having to do there, which has access to some of those gateways. But this 105, it's really looking like it's going to test it, and I want to be, like I said, hands off to 120 if it breaks. Hopefully we can get this back down below $1, and then I'm looking for like a 95 area, much the same way I would be in OGen. Brendan, what's up, bud?
Another one from the watch list, guys, that's kind of setting up here a little bit. Once again, VIPs. I was right at the bottom of the watch list this morning. VIP Shop, the Chinese company, Chinese government came out, announced an investigation into this company. So big gap down this morning in the pre-market. We were all the way down at 26. Trying to hold above this 28.20 though, looking like it might want to get going back to where we were yesterday, 29.30 for VIPS.
VIPS.
Yes,
Okay,
VIPS.
good name. I like that ticker symbol for sure. Let's have a quick look at that one just to see what Brendan was talking about there. Wow, $28 name right here, VIPS. Let's just find out here. I think it. Isn't it? Yeah, it's a holding company. Okay, so a nice little move up. Well, not really. Up 0.87 right here, but looking to take out some levels on a daily chart. We're really high up here. If this can get back to 26 or so, might be worth looking at. This is that little consolidation spot. And again, this is how I look at stocks, man, long term or not. You know, you get some consolidation like this, and once you break it higher, you go up to 30. But look at this to come back here to 25, 26. We're still a ways away. VIPS 3.1 million shares with an M.
This is a strong hold up here on ZOM, guys, but also pushing to the upside. I never got any of those fills. Ran away from these bids on OGen here, so it's trying to tick back below that buck. It keeps wicking up to like that one price, the dollar even price, but no offer is below. What I mean by that is, here you go. Every time this one comes off the bid, and it looks like the turn's happening on ZOM, so I'm also trying to get some shares of that as well, short, if I can. Every time it ticks below, you're seeing essentially no offer below that dollar price. See what happens? Like the bid will drop a little bit, but no one's offering 99.7, 99.5 or anything like that when it goes. So it's a bit of a sign of strength. So I'm holding both of these to the short side. If we get a breakdown of 3 on ZOM, I'm going to add to it. I do have to go back to that LXRX just to update you guys in this position. It's still holding VWAP. I said I would not put a stop order in because I wanted to see it test VWAP, which it did, and then came right back down. So it's consolidating in that range. Because I'm now managing a couple of these at the same time, which are at pressure points, and LXRX is the smallest one, I'm just going to go with a stop at 540. Much easier to manage a position that way.
Yeah, we've been getting out of our NEO as this has been happening once again, and it just doesn't want to break, it looks like anyways. So NEO, oops, yeah, that's the NEO day chart. We don't care about that right now. I'm just looking at this, still 61.20 coming in. We now have 20% left of our initial trade there. We got out a bunch there near 50, not a bunch, but we got out some for 10 cents near 50 there. And yeah, we're going to wait till this breaks back down through 61.20. So that's the trade for me for NIO. We'll wait. Again, I have some orders to the upside now. I guess I'll save them. They're up here, 58, 59, 60, something like that. So we'll wait to see if that can come through. I think it will, and why won't it? So NEO coming back to the high side, we still are looking for that. The Tesla game still keeps getting ramped up here. We're now at 860. I guess the high of the day, 863. So we still are pretty close. Look at that. A big move up for NEO, and to say that it wasn't called by us would be incorrect. Or sorry, Tesla. We talked about this dipping down. Unfortunately, I don't know. I don't think NEO. We didn't have.
It never really gave the. It didn't dip far enough. That's
right.
The
That
problem.
was the call for me too. Yeah.
So it was like 830, 825 to 830 was the area, and it went to 838, which is just too far away. If that was your support, it's too far.
That was, yeah. Yeah, so here, down here, I can zoom out a little bit here. This is what we were talking about, was sort of, I wanted to look at this level here where we had some bunched up in the pre-market 2 days ago, 825, bottom, like 832, and then here we dipped down to 832, like what a gift that was yesterday afternoon. So, and then it came close again today, so we just missed it. Like I was here 828, I was right here, so we missed it. It only goes down to 838, so I missed it by a lot, like $10. It's not like I can cry over that one. And then we still have the high, 866 and change, maybe coming in, especially if the NASDAQ goes. We started the day negative, if you remember correctly, and then now a nice little move up here. Here's the NASDAQ, kind of choppy, but I mean, whatever, you can draw these kind of lines here. I'm not a big fan of like this, but there you go. Just to show you the trend, you could break it and then you can make some flags. I could draw another one here and then we can get going on that. But you do have a high side target right now too. Here, yeah, it's art classes in. What's up to my kids at virtual school? What's up to my wife as well? Sorry that you have to deal with them.
Looks like a Snowflake here. Saturn and Saturn Cloud announced partnership to bring 100 times faster data science to millions of Python users. So that's going to be the reason you see this little volume spike here. And Snowflake just went like $7 or $8, breaking through high of the day. I missed $5 of a gap. I'm not necessarily going to chase it. I mean, if it comes back down, I'll be more interested. But given that I am trying to get involved in a couple of names which are at pressure points, it's hard to jump into something like a Snowflake. And wow, Brandon is the man. It's like, I just saw that, and he's already got it in the lower third. Why? Because that's what he does around here. So Snowflake certainly on the move. If you're wondering what the volume spike is, that's all it was. I got out of a firm and was like, oh yeah, what a great tape read that was, and yada, 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 this and that. It's retesting that same level, right up here, that 118 where we got up the first time. It just felt like there was some weakness when it got to that price. Yeah, same thing happening again. It was a failed break, and now it's a little weakness showing again. I did get a few more shares there on ZOM, so 103.5 is going to be my average price. It just got to $1. This is going to be big. We said 105, not $1 was going to be the level on ZOM, so this is 105, and now we're back at $1. If it breaks this, I think we're headed down to 90 pennies or so. This would be a place to maybe scalp a few shares off at 101 because let's not get crazy here. But then maybe add on a break of a 1 even if it's at all possible. ZOM is short sell restricted, so hitting the bid. Some trouble yesterday wasn't that big of a problem, but today a little bit harder to do that.
Yeah, and what hasn't been moving too well, but it's been a little tricky, has been GameStop. So we still are long 36. It's busting through. It's a 25-cent win right now. We're going to put an order upside 37, see if we can grab that. Don't know if that's going to come through, but I like a 37 out for the half of what we have left, Mr. Wickens.
Just looking at this little drone maker, Edge Eagle Aerial Systems popping up here on a volume scanner. You can see volume coming back into this one. UAVS back to the upside through 850. That alert went off, but day highs 880 up there. We're really close to all-time highs here, 940-ish for UAVS. Don't see anything in the way of headlines, but UAVS moving, guys.
I remember UAVS. I want to check in on another high flyer, and that's going to be Virgin Galactic. It did dip down to this price before, $32, and it's worth sort of noting shy of VWAP, upward trend, double bottom at 30. Now a same retest here at 32.20. If it were to break 32, I think maybe you'd start thinking about like a day trade in the afternoon to the short side. If it holds this, I'd probably put my money in like on a power hour or maybe just in front of that, a run to that upside. We only have 13 minutes to go, and last I checked, Petco IPO is not open yet. So I too have my orders to go in if it does open up, but I don't know if we're going to get to that while the show is on, Sean.
Okay, yeah, you hear me go, because I just want to show you guys like how we trade some of these IPOs. Yesterday we were sitting here for a firm, and the reason why I'm not more upset, I love everybody here, I love everything, but we have meetings and stuff after the show, so if it doesn't open up on time, we probably will miss this, but don't forget what's coming tomorrow, guys. What? You said coming up 2 was the thing, but it's not.
3.
We'll go on coming up 3 there. Coming up 3, Kevin O'Leary tomorrow at 10:30 a.m. He'll be here. We'll be talking everything. He says he always gets asked about Bitcoin, so guess what? That probably will happen tomorrow as well. And then I found this over on my Insta. This was Neil. You remember this one? This was the first time you could see like back in the day. This was the good old days. Neil and I sat beside each other there. Here's Mr. O'Leary's iPhone, and then you could see we had a bunch of traders also back here. So follow us on Instagram, follow us everywhere, but this was an old one. What was the date here? Okay, June 14th, 2020, when he was here for the first time talking about MindMed. That's not what he's going to be doing tomorrow. We may ask him about that, but Peroni, a beer nicely taken there. We will talk about that. Oh, by the way, Brendan, you remember this day, man. We're gonna be going golfing, hopefully very, very soon. Not in the next couple months, but hopefully, I'm hoping for April. If we could get an April tee time, I think we're down. And someone was like, I'm wearing my money socks there, but someone was like, hey, bro, get some sun on your legs. And yeah, no duh on that one. Get some sun on those legs, buddy. TaylorMade hats. This is me and Brendo teeing it off, but follow us on Instagram there as well. Some fun things, a little more personable than Twitter, obviously, there. But Kevin O'Leary coming through tomorrow. There's, I don't know, whatever. I got nothing for you on that one. I'm a horrible singer, let's be honest about it. And these plays, I'm going to say this here for you guys. Every time there's breaking news, I'm usually saying if I missed the first move, don't chase it. Snowflake, yeah, maybe should have chased it because you still could have had an opportunity on this little dip to like 309. It's still testing the highs. It's slowing down to be sure, but looks like there is some follow through on that news story
that we just had across the wire with regards to Snowflake. A bit of a move down in both ZOM and OGen. I'm going to go to OGen first. 105, remember I said this one as well. 103 to 105 was level yesterday, so I held off on adding anything until it got to 103. I have a bid at $1. This one is a little bit stronger in this range, and I'm going to scalp the absolute heck out of it from here to like 90 all the way down. And I also have ZOM as well, so no worries there. We talked about this the space ETF this morning. It was obviously the news of the day, and this was me on Maxar trying to play this double top here. So in and out, almost a flat trade. It's a very small hit. I got to start reversing some of these when you get a key level and it's a catalyst to the upside, because it just goes another $3 to the upside on Maxar and what was a bullish story. So next time we're going to reverse a play like that. Brendan, what's up?
Another one to keep in your radar, or keep in your back pocket for the afternoon, possibly FRSX, which is Foresight Autonomous. If you remember, big move up yesterday. I mentioned this one already, was showing some weakness, but look at this last few minutes back to the upside. Held 550 there nicely at the bottom. So tested it 1, 2, 3 times. We're back to 620 for this FRSX. Still down though, 8%, guys.
I did want to talk to Randy Turner here. I know you've been supporting. I know you've saw me and messaged me a couple times on Twitter as well. So, like, if WOOF is 24.50 and you have a limit bar at 20, you're not going to get filled, right? So you got to up that order there. I just want to let you know that, because there's a lot of sometimes confusion on what that means. Like, you saw the IPO come at a certain price, and then you wonder, like, why did I get missed there? Maybe you got to be at the price it comes out at. So if WOOF prints 50, you have to have a limit order at 50, or you get no shares. So that's how the WOOF IPO, and that's how every IPO works. So just an update on that one, guys.
Yeah, I mean, someone was asking me about 3D here. The thing is, Tisha Perkins, I mean, I have not looked at 3D at all today, so it's going to be hard for me. You actually have to add it to my quote board because it's not there. It was there yesterday, so we'll give it a manual test in here. It's going absolutely parabolic, and I didn't check to see if there was a catalyst to this move today. And sort of involved in a couple of positions. Both OGen and ZOM are starting to move to the downside. I'm holding them simultaneously here, even though I kind of said I wouldn't do that, but I did size down a little bit on both of them to make sure that I could. Triple D, this is one that I would not stand in the way of. I've said this before. Palantir used to have days like this. It's the first one that comes to my mind where I know there was a big break at the open, but this is an orderly rise. It's just, it'll pull back nicely. It's steady. It's linear. I'm such a nerd. It's a linear rise instead of a parabolic one, and I don't like shorting into it until you get a consolidation and then a drop and then a break of a level. That makes more sense to me than just standing in front of a moving train, and I don't know the catalyst. That's the other part here. So I have not had this on my radar. It's obviously a great stock today. I feel like, Sean, you were talking about this with Mark earlier in the week, right?
Yep. For sure, yeah, 3D. Yeah, that was a good trade earlier on in the week. And again, it was because it had opened up with a lot of short interest. So that's where that one went flying through. And Mark just realized it was left for dead 3D systems. So when that did open back up, there was some apparent interest in it. So good look there. Thank you, Tisha, for that as well. And I know that you've been tweeting at me as well. So what's up to you, Tisha, for that? She wanted us to go long GameStop today. I tried. I went long and short, but right now, not much happening for me on GME. So if you guys are looking at GME, I'm not doing a whole hell of a lot on that name, but we got to wait for it. And then other than that, it's been a little bit of a fun day here, I would think. I'm apologize, but WOOF right now, still with only 6 minutes to go here before the show's over. WOOF, or 7 minutes, 6 minutes and change. WOOF still not open. I'm excited for it. I like this. I like the pet space. You know that. I wish I could have bought some here on the show, but check our Twitters and everything. Hopefully we'll be able to trade that if we're not too busy after the show, but I'm excited for that. GameStop still trying to go. I have an order at 37, so if we get that fill, I consider myself pretty lucky.
Oh, yeah, that looks great. You love this, the higher low puts in. We thought it'd be bearish on the day, and then it gives you that like afternoon type of break. Those are so good if they happen at like 2 o'clock as opposed to necessarily right now. Okay, thank you for making fun of me, Chris Carr. Yeah, I said the word linear. I even once said, I actually said we would say the word treasuries on the show, which we never even talk about, and we probably should do a little bit more because I think we're going to start to hear that inflation word more and more often, so I might go down that road as well. One stock, which I did not mention all day, Brennan brought this one up for a nice little retracement trade, and I said it looked good. Yeah, it still looks good, and I have done absolutely nothing with it. I pray to dear life that Brendan crushed this name, because when we talk about stocks, or if you have a good retracement play, it never worries you. You just hang on to it, just hold for dear life. You might be able to have it all day long to get maximum profits. EXPR certainly looks like one, and if I'm not mistaken, it was the last name on our watch list this morning, which, heck, we're giving away for free every single day, Sean.
Yeah, we are. Here you go. What is today? The 14th? Sure. Let's just put up the watch list. This is what it is. If you're just joining us again for the first time and you're like, what is this watch list? It's free. Watchlist.tradertv.live. We had a record number of signups yesterday, guys. So there's a lot of people looking at this thing. And yeah, GameStop's on here. There's Plug Power. We hit Alibaba early. I don't think either one of us has been in Fubu yet. Neil's done really well on Affirm. Lemonade on that list. Afria. I mean, let's check back right now on CGC, because that was a big trade for me earlier on, and yeah, good thing we took that. If you look at this, it was that 33 break, the high from yesterday. Afria comes up with news on great earnings. They finally turned profitable, and CGC up that 4%. Check back on Afria there here, and that's, yes, I might actually be positive on my Afria position finally in my own account. What's up, Brendan?
Here we go.
Hey guys, yeah, a couple minutes to go here. We have big day coming up. Talked about Kevin O'Leary. We have another guest as well during the show tomorrow. Interview coming up on Friday. Going to be very exciting. So make sure you join us. Going to be an excellent show. Okay, coming up 3, they're telling me. So I can throw that up. And yeah, there we go. Kevin O'Leary joining us tomorrow at 10:30. Make sure you join us. But as I said, there's another guest going to join us at 11:15 throughout the show tomorrow as well. All about the banks when it comes to earnings, guys. All of these are before the market opens tomorrow. So nothing terribly exciting after market tonight. But yeah, big names on there.
And that's why I said treasuries. Watch out for that rate. I mean, we're going to get stimulus is coming. Actually, Biden's talking today or tonight, this evening, 7 o'clock maybe. You're going to get a number, $2 trillion. I think is the number that's been thrown out there. Obviously, you've seen, if you're watching T-bill rates, that's been going up, and then inflation worries, and then that's going to have a trickle down effect. This is all good for the banks. That's why we've been talking about it, the buybacks, yada, yada, yada. We've been over this a million times, guys. And you've certainly heard the calls in JP Morgan. I see Wells Fargo up there. I like Morgan Stanley. Before we go to what is next, which I think you guys are going to have a lot of fun with, Affirm, yeah. So this is a good sign, I think, for the Petco IPO today, because Affirm is running again. 120 break to the upside. It just touched 124. So yesterday's IPO making fresh highs. That's got to bode well for today's with Petco, which has yet to open. But it is certainly soon. Before I chuckle too much, there is what National Day it is today, and Valeria's having a lot of fun with this one, I think.
Yeah, that's adorable. So guys, thank you very much for spending another trading morning with us. If you joined us for the first time, please don't forget to subscribe and click the like button. We will see you tomorrow at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time. And happy National Dress Your Pet Day, everyone.
I wish I would have known about this a little bit earlier, because yeah, my pet has like a lot of clothes. So yeah, that's National Dress Your Pet Day. That's a good looking one right there. A nice little look there. But yeah,
that
so
looks weird.
Look, it's going to be fun. You guys know that we're long JP Morgan, sub 100. So we're just chilling out, but watch out. It's up at 1% today. You do have my blessing to take some off here if you do have some. It's just been such a nice run for JP Morgan. They are reporting tomorrow. I think, they're best of breed. We've talked about that. We're rating here at this high. We're long down here. What up to Daryl Flinch as well, who's long with me downside there. But I'm debating taking some off. I was going to do it yesterday, but I didn't. Maybe we'll wait to see the report. I mean, I don't think it trades back down to 130, but we'll see. That's tomorrow. JP Morgan and all the banks. Come back with us, guys.
Yeah, absolutely. And look, just to go over a few things, I'm going to put Brendan on the spot here, because I just want to make sure there isn't a change in the indicative price of Wolf, of course, the Petco IPO. I have bids here, and again, I'm willing to buy some if it's as high as 30, more if it's more of a 25, and if it's actually at that 23, then maybe even more at that price. So 23 was last indicated open. We don't know when that's going to happen. I'm loving the fact that we're about to touch a 125 on Affirm. I wish I was still long. But I think we're going to get a positive wind here for the Petco IPO, given what we're seeing in Affirm. Brendan?
Yeah, I don't see anything as far as updates, guys. We had the last one was 23.50. Now they're actually just saying Petco expected to start trading above its price level, which was 18. So kind of vague so far today with that one, guys.
Yeah, my orders crossed all the way to 50 because I just want to get in, so I don't really price for me irrelevant. Like yesterday, it didn't matter. Like you saw Affirm, AFRM. Like what does it matter what price you put in? Because yesterday Affirm was supposed to come out $49 yesterday, and then we don't need the daily chart because that doesn't make any sense. Here it was 90. It came out. I think it was 90.90, something like that. I don't know. Here's the exact. Yeah, I think it was 90.90, which is really strange. But there it came to the upside, and now you get instantly like a 30% win there today alone, and then yesterday if you're able to hold it to about 102 or so, but closes 97 and just blasts up. So yeah, Affirm making people very rich.
100%. I think that people are absolutely loving it. If you bought it, it makes a lot of sense. A fantastic business model. We went over this a little bit over the last couple of days just to make sure that you guys knew what was going on. It's been a wild and exciting one. We had a fire alarm in the middle of the show, believe it or not, and we're all okay here. The trades have been fantastic. The market's still flat on the day. So for all of this action, all the stocks you've seen moving around and all the good trades, the overall market is flat. That's why you have to have an idea what to look at if you're going to be an active trader intraday. So that's what we're trying to do for you guys, for the entire team, for Miss Valeria, looking sharp, from our man Sean Cantina, for Brennan Wickens. I'm Neil Roberts. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. This is Trader TV Live. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye, guys.